What is going on, everybody? What's good? Hope everybody's doing, well today. Uh, it's another Saturday. We are here. We woke up this morning, and we can, thank our Maker for being here and allowing us to be here another day and talk about whatever we want to talk about, to do whatever we want to do. So let's appreciate it and enjoy it to the best of our abilities. Thank you guys for tuning in as always. It's always interesting news coming out of Knick camp. We'll talk about that in a minute. But once again, I want to thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you to those viewing on Twitch and those viewing on Facebook as well. Got the morning cup of Joe or Joanne, either way, you know what I mean? And just for those who are asking, yes, yeah, they don't sponsor me, but I love me some Dunkin' Donuts. Okay. It is what it is. Hopefully you guys are doing well. Salute to the chat. Appreciate y'all. Walter Blackman, as always, good to see you, my brother. Hope you're doing well. Thank you. Sha Powell is in the building, one half of the Knicks Real Talk duo with Sha and Divine. Please support their show on YouTube, Knicks Real Talk with Sha and Divine. Building Blocks is in the building. Appreciate you. Good to see you as always. Will Salkin is here. Salute, my brother. Hope you're doing all right. DSJ in the building. What's going on, Delano? Hope you're doing okay, brother. Kerry Cox is here. Salute. Appreciate you. Angel Torres is in the building. And if I've never said this before, I do this for two reasons. One, to acknowledge and show love to the chat. But two, it kind of reminds me of my youth, and I think of Romper Room. I know I'm old, but I know some of y'all remember Romper Room. When she used to put the kids to sleep for their little nap. I see Billy, and I see Bobby, and Janet, and Jesse, and Caitlin. I used to love Romper Room. Whatever. Anyway. Dwayne Dennis in the building. Salute. Appreciate you. Good to see y'all. And obviously, as the show gets going, the more and more people that tune in, appreciate y'all. And the people that are tuning in that are not in the chat, thank you as well. Hope everybody's doing good. And, hope you guys have a great weekend. Yeah, so much information out there. So many trade rumors and trade talk and scenarios, all this stuff. And the NBA playoffs is in full swing, and first game has already been finished, and Denver's up 1-0 on Miami. So yeah, boy, tell you one thing. Now that we're at the point of the finals, you see how they space these games out. I mean, they played Thursday. Now the next game is tomorrow, Thursday to Sunday. Yeah, they dragging this puppy out. So yeah, it is what it is. Wonder Woman's in the building. Salute. Good to see you. Appreciate you as always. Yeah, Building Blocks, Romper Room, Electric Company, Sesame Street. Yeah, the whole shebang. And you might want to throw Reading Rainbow in there too. Hey, Louisiana Knicks is in the building. Salute. Appreciate you. Hope you're doing well. Yeah, man. John is he's super dad now. It's tough, man. It's tough. It's super. He's definitely doing it, man. We were just talking last night. Everything's ramping up sports wise. His he's got 4 kids, as we mentioned multiple times here, but 2 of them are a little older, and so they're both interested in sports. Daughter's playing softball, and his son is playing hardball, basketball, and he does a little boxing. But right now, a lot of the basketball stuff John was doing with him is over. Even though he's still training to get better for the next time, games start back up. He's about to step into baseball, and that's going to be a whole another thing. So, yeah, man, it's a lot of daddy duties. He's taking the kids all over the place, traveling. That's one thing that they don't prepare you for as a parent. It's one thing to get your kids involved in sports, but it's another thing to really, if they want to be invested, to really get them where they got to go and travel and take them to different games at different places, sometimes even different cities. You never know, depending on how good your kids are. So John's going through that right now. Appreciate the brother. We were talking last night. He was like, yeah, he's out there. Salute to you, my brother. I appreciate you. So hopefully he said he'll be able to maybe tune in today to listen to the show, because he's driving around and two kids both got games today, or they both got something going on today, should I say. What's going on? Appreciate you. I'm glad you actually got to catch it live. Good, nice, dope. Well, we're thankful to have you here. You tuning in. DSJ said, I play hardball too when I'm on stage performing. Lady, stop tugging on my pantaloons. Nice. Very nice. Okay. All right. So, all right, guys. So, you know what? Let's just get right into it. Hey, Kareem Grant in the building. Salute, twin. What's good, my brother? Hope you're doing well. Hope you and your family are doing well. I saw the pictures you have posted on social before. Beautiful family, man. God bless them. Hope everybody's doing okay. Yeah. So, all right, guys, let's hit the intro, come back, and do the damn thing. Last week, I didn't even hit the intro. I just got right into the talk, and I was like, forget this intro this week. But, we got to get back to the regular scheduled program. Let's not forget where we at. All right. Oh, my bad. Once again, I always forget you guys are still rocking with me, man. I just be getting in my zone. You know what I mean? Appreciate y'all. Let's see. Okay, guys. So, excuse me. We got a very jam-packed show today. We're gonna have a bunch of different things to go over. So we'll see. We'll see how it all shakes out. Get your opinions on different things, and we'll go from there. Oh, shout out to Stafford Don. Don't let him fool you. Oh no, what's going on, my brother? Good to see you. It's been a minute. Hope you're doing well. A Train in the building. Salute. What's going on, A? Yeah, man. So all right, let's hit it with the breaking news first that I'm sure some of y'all have been getting on your feeds as it has developed or whatever. According to Adrian Wojnarowski, ESPN sources, All-NBA forward Julius Randle underwent arthroscopic surgery on his left ankle and is expected to be ready for the New York Knicks training camp in the fall. Yeah. So, what this, to me, this is not shocking news. I've kind of said stuff, not that I knew this, but I kind of said stuff before in recent times when we were talking about Julius. I said I believe that Julius's injury was worse than people were letting on. And I said If you go back, I wish I had this timestamped. I said I wouldn't be surprised if later we find out it was worse than what we thought, but they're just not making a big deal about it and saying it. So it looks like it was worse than we thought. And it affected his play. Now, I'm not shooting Julius any bail, but I understand that this is what affected Julius from being the Julius we saw in the regular season that we could have used. What I will say is, even though that he was hampered with this injury, my problem isn't not so much that he struggled, offensively. Yes, it's a problem, but that wasn't the big issue for me, because I said it, and I'll say it again just so we know we're all on the same page of what I was thinking. I said it's going to be really tough for Julius Randle to have an injury that sidelines him for 2.5 weeks, and then he comes into a playoff series where the intensity is stronger, the defense is keying in on what teams like to do a little, everything is ratcheted up, you know what I mean? And you're coming into a playoff series at the time against the number one defense in the Eastern Conference, Cleveland. It's very tough for a rhythm player like Julius Randle to come in and get his rhythm going and find his shot that he was doing well with, prior to getting hurt. That's tough. It's just tough. I don't see it happening right away. It takes some time. Excuse me. So I knew that was going to be a problem. I also knew that Julius Randle has a bulldog mentality, right? He doesn't want to quit. If he feels like he can play, he's going to want to be out there. And we know Tom Thibodeau is the type of coach that unless you can't walk, he's going to put you out there if he needs you and values you. You know what I mean? But so, that was going to be an issue. And then, he re-injured the same ankle in the Miami Heat series. So yeah, it wasn't a good look. It wasn't going to be promising with regards to that. Now that aside, his effort out there didn't look great. It didn't look great at certain points. His defense was lackadaisical. Guys were cutting behind him. People were moving off screens and different things. He wasn't closing out at certain plays, and so that's effort, right? Now, it's your willingness to try. It's one thing if you can't get out there. Like if you see it happening and you're running and trying to get there, but you just can't get there because you're hampered physically. It's one thing. It's another thing to not be moving, to see it happen and you're like, I can't get there. But you got to make that effort. You got to try. And if you can't try, then you shouldn't be out there on the court. That's the thing. If you want to be out there in the court, you got to try your best to do whatever it takes to help the team win. And if you can't do it, then you shouldn't be out there. That's how I look at it. So as I said before, when it comes to Julius Randle, and I've said this multiple times, I don't want to just trade Julius Randle for the sake of trading him. The only way I'm trading Julius Randle is if we can upgrade somehow. You know what I mean? Because I do understand that maybe, that first playoff series was a lesson for him. And he got overwhelmed. They doubled and triple teamed him. He didn't make the right calls, the right decisions, and he didn't fight his way out of it. Maybe he was young and, young playoff wise, not young physically, young playoff wise, and just didn't understand what was the best way to deal with it. He had never been in that position before. And no one had ever really done that to him and locked him down the way Atlanta was trying to do in that series and did. So he just didn't have the right way of combating it. Right. So fine, you give him a pass. But then we get into these playoffs, and now when he's trying to redeem himself, because in his mind, Julius was going nuts because he knew what happened 2 years ago, and he didn't want to have that same playoff taste and want people to look at him the same way. He was trying to have a much better playoff series, and he wanted to help the Knicks win. But physically getting hurt really messed him up. And so then with that happening and like, damn, what else is going to happen? Like, it's one thing after another. Now I'm healthy. I'm having a good year. I'm an all-star going to the playoffs and I get hurt. So that stuff weighs on you. But like I said, regardless of all that, if you're going to be out there on the court, you got to show the effort. You got to try at least. Even if you can't get there, you got to try to make that effort to move. Don't stay stuck. Something's happening around you. Anticipate. Hey, I'm slow. I can't really get out there. My ankle's a little tender, whatever. You know what? Once I see the ball moving, I got to start kind of cheating over a little bit because they might swing it all the way around and I'm caught in nowhere's land. Like, it's just different things that you want players to think of in these situations when they know they don't have all their ability the way they normally would. But whatever. Who am I? I'm just a fan. I'm just saying, but that's it. That's my point. I think the fans were a little too hard on him because we never know the full story, and I knew we didn't know the full story because they don't. That's how it is sometimes in the NBA. You don't get everything until later, and now we're getting the later, right? So you get that. But like I said, it still doesn't account for Julius's effort on certain plays where we definitely needed, him to try to help the team in any way possible if you're going to be out there on the court. Okay. So I don't know what the chat thinks about the whole situation. How you guys feel about Julius Randle and knowing that the injury was worse than initially suspected? Some of y'all who had strong opinions, do you think your opinion was too strong? Do you think that now, knowing that he actually was really hurt in that ankle, and then don't forget, he did injure the ankle twice, the same ankle. Do you feel a little differently about it, or do you like whatever? I don't care. You walk out there on nubs. Let's get it done. Like I don't know. I don't know how y'all feel. Let's see. A-Train said even more reason Tibbs should have limited his minutes in the playoffs. I'm not going to argue with you. There may be some truth to that. But this is, Tom Thibodeau, man. Tom Thibodeau. He also, and that's the thing, like these situations, people panic. You get so close, right? You have a good season, you guys play well, and then stuff starts to open up for you. Milwaukee goes down, and all these different things start to happen. You're like, oh man, we might have a road to get to where we want to go. We need all hands on deck. How are we going to do this? People start to panic. Jay Cruz is in the building. Salute. Appreciate you. Good to see you. He said it could be a move to kill his trade value so he doesn't go anywhere this offseason, leaving us to stay with. Nah, I don't think. No, because if anything, it wouldn't matter. If anything, it makes him look better because it says that what we saw in the playoffs wasn't you. You weren't healthy. You were actually hurt. You needed to get surgery. That's how hurt you were. And so when everybody's questioning what happened with his effort, not effort, what happened with his offensive play, they can say, oh, well, look, I mean, obviously he was hurt ankle. He couldn't push off the way he normally would. Because hurt ankle can affect everything. It affects your whole rhythm if it's really bad. Is ask Steph Curry, who's had some really bad ones in the past. He just if anything, it's just a note to people like, okay, maybe we don't have to look at him like he can't show up in the playoffs. Something actually was affecting him. So I don't think it hurts his trade value at all. I think it helps it, and he's going to get the injury. He already got the surgery. He'll be healed up by the regular season. He'll be good to go. So I think he if anything, it helps him. Yeah, exactly. As long as they have a pulse. If he draws breath, I'm going to play him. Yeah, I'd be surprised. Yeah, Shot Powers, thank you, my brother. Yeah, smash that like button, guys, if you can. I appreciate y'all. Thank you for supporting the show. And actually, thank you for supporting all our shows. Whether it be Know the Ledge on Saturdays, SKF Weekly on Mondays, or the NBA Report on Nothing But Knicks on Thursdays. Appreciate you guys. Let's see. Yeah, the Miami Goons. Yeah, well, I'll tell you one thing. They're playing against a team that's very physical as well. So, you know, Miami has their hands full. It was nice to see actually because Bam was trying to get physical with Jokic, and Jokic was pushing him around. So, yeah, that's the difference when you have those type of pieces. Shaw said, "Yeah, if you watch Randle, he didn't look the same." Yeah, I mean, listen, once again, not making excuses for him, but you could tell something wasn't right. But it's the playoffs, and he's out there, so you figure he's trying to play through it. It's just that I don't think he was able to do enough to really help what the Knicks needed. But it's not all on Randle, but he is a piece of it. We know other guys that didn't necessarily have the greatest playoff series as well. Excuse me. Knicks are nice in the building. What up, Pudge? Appreciate you. Good to see you. Margaret Edwards is here. Salute, Margaret. Hope you're doing well. Francisco Carrillo in the building. Salute. Good to see you. Jeremy Nussbaum in the building. Salute, Jeremy. Hey, what's up, Bricks Nation? Good to see you as always. Hope you're doing well. Julian Blum is in the building. What's going on, Julian? Interesting. Yeah, there's definitely it's definitely something going on with that, man. I think, honestly, the problem with New York Knicks fans is, and it's not a problem, it's just something for you as a player. When you do something here, the fans don't let you forget. It's like Knicks fans and Philadelphia fans, they don't let you live it down. You're gonna have to be a model citizen and perfect after messing up here, doing anything here that stays on their radar so that they can forget, because they don't let it go. And so Julius, with everything that happened, last year and all that stuff, that's like, if that didn't happen, just imagine if you could throw that season out, or if he just had a regular season with none of those other issues that happen on the court with the outburst and all the laptop stuff and the thumb. Imagine that didn't happen. I don't think Knicks fans would be getting on Julius Randle the way they are. It's just that put a sour taste in some fans, mouth, pause. And then he started to look at him differently. And so now it's like, okay, this is how you're going to be. Now, you need to do what we need to see greatness from you if you want to act this way. That's kind of like it. It's unfortunate, but that's what happens, man. There's still some people that can't stand Randle and won't move on. Don't care that he was an all-star this year. Don't care that he helped them win 47 games and was pivotal in a lot of what happened this year. They don't care. So, that's how it is. Jeremy Nussbaum says, typical Knicks front office, medical staff, coaching malpractice, fire Tom Thibodeau ASAP. James Dolan needs to clean house. Scott Perry was responsible for all the Knicks connections. Well, I don't know if that's necessarily true, if it's all Scott Perry. And as far as, I don't think you can blame the front office for this, Jeremy. This is Tibbs. Because remember what Leon Rose said. Tibbs is the coach. Tibbs is going to make the decisions. This is Tibbs. Tibbs chooses to put his guys out there if they're hurt, if they, whatever, and that's him. That's why he gets paid the money. So he's got to take all the blame and all the praise if they do well. So yeah, I wouldn't look at the front office for that, because they already said they wasn't stepping in. They said they're going to let Tibbs coach the way he wants to coach and how he wants to play the players. So it's Tibbs. Now, and the other thing about the medical staff, I've been hearing things around the league, not just from Kenyon Martin, but another couple players said the Knicks have a really good medical staff, apparently, compared to other teams around the league. So take that for what you will. It's not like this is what I'm trying to say to people. The Knicks knew how bad that injury was. It's not like they didn't know. They just knew that we're in the playoffs. We have a shot. Julius wants to be out there. Thibodeau wants him out there, and they played him. That's all it is. It's not like they didn't know the injury was bad. They knew the injury was bad, But they were like, what are we going to do? This is a shot, is the playoffs. If anything, you get surgery in the offseason, you can heal up then. But this is the playoffs now. We need you. That's what it is. That's the mentality. That's the thought. And I'm not saying it's wrong, because if it worked out, we'd all be like, oh, well, Julius is a warrior, all this stuff. But it didn't work out. So it's a double-edged sword, man. That's how sports is. Sometimes it can be good for you. Sometimes it can be bad. I mean, as me being a Giant fan, looking at the old Giant teams and these guys getting banged up and hurt and getting shot with adrenaline and shot with cortisone shots and all this stuff just to get themselves back out there on the field, numbing creams and numbing gels and all that stuff, just so they don't feel anything, even though their freaking limbs are falling off. Like, sports, man. I don't know. It only works when it works. When it don't work, it looks really bad. Mellow Tech is in the building. Salute. What's good? Hope you're doing well, brother. Smoking Nick is in the building. Salute, Smoking Nick. Hope you're doing well, guys. If you haven't, tune into the Smoking Nick show on YouTube. Like, comment, support, subscribe, all that good stuff. William is in the building. What's going on, William? All the way from Brazil. Always good to see you, bro. Parish Duggar is in the building. Salute. Hope you're doing well. Hope everything's good with you. He said, so who am I suing for Randle's effort, Tibbs or Randle? Yeah, you could both of them, man. Put them in a package. This is a joint case. We want both of them to appear in the court of law. Hey, there he is. What's going on, my guy? John in the building. Salute you, my brother. He says, shout out to my guy, Ron, for talking us off the ledge. Salute to the chat. Peace and blessings to all tuning in. Good to see you, brother. And believe me, when you're not around, everybody's thinking about, where is John? So hope you're doing well out there, brother. I know you running around. I know. And the weather actually didn't do what they said it was going to do. They said it was going to be pouring all last night, all into today till 3 in the afternoon. And looks like it was kind of, it's okay out there. So I know you are moving. Let's see. Bricks Nation said there will be a new king soon. His name is Jokic. Yeah. He looks like he's the next one. Yeah, I mean, honestly, I'm not just saying this, guys. This is what I'm hearing that different people are saying. Not just the Homer, whatever, Knick players, but yeah, apparently around the league, Knicks medical staff is a good one. I mean, if you think about it, we don't have like a lot of, long-term injuries, and that are happening right now. Now, I don't know if it's the same exact medical staff that we had during the brittle days of Mitch and of Nerlens Noel, but then again, those players are both very brittle at that time and didn't have a lot of, like, you noticed we say what we want to say about Mitch's health, but he's been fairly healthy lately, and notice ever since he put the weight on, he slimmed down, but he kept some of that weight, and maybe it's helping him, be able to avoid certain, minor injuries that kept popping up on him, or long-lasting injuries, because he's tweaked the ankle here or there, but he's ready to go the next game or the game after. Like in the past, him tweaking an ankle, he'd be out like a week, 2 weeks, who knows. Ron is in line about fans holding grudges. I still haven't forgiven John Starks for Game 7. Game 6. See that, that's the thing that I like to point out to people. And I don't know if you because people misremember that finals a lot. You know what I mean? Because they think that John Starks is the reason why we didn't win the championship. And it's not. As a kid, I actually forgot myself. When I was young, I was like, Damn it, man. Freaking John Starks. It's OJ and John Starks' fault, man. OJ gave us the bad juju by interrupting our Knick game, and John Starks going 2 for 18 just to put the nail in the coffin. I forgot myself that, you know what? That was game 6. The Knicks still had a chance to win in game 7. We were up. We had the advantage. No one to blame but the 15 guys or the 10-man rotation, 9-man rotation that was out on that floor. It's not all about John Starks because the Knicks could have easily came back in game 7, took it to Houston, and won. But they didn't. It's kind of like when you look at if anybody follows baseball, you know, the Mets and Boston Red Sox with their first baseman, Bill Buckner, who let the ball go under his legs. The Mookie Wilson came around, or was it Ray Knight? How could I forget that? It's a monumental thing in my history. But whatever. It's Mookie. I think Mookie came around to score, and, you know, we won the game, right? That was game 6. You know, Boston fans killed, you know, Bill Buckner all the time with memes and death threats, all types of stuff. And I shouldn't say memes because there was no memes back then. Death threats, and all types of stuff. And it made his life a living hell. But he wasn't the reason why they lost the championship. That was game 6. They still could have won in game 7. I'm just saying, man, you know, for us as fans, when we see it, it's over. But not knowing, our team still had a chance to win, and they didn't do what they needed to do. It's tough, bro. It's tough. Yeah. Tom Thibodeau has full autonomy. Maybe right. Yeah. Hey, DSJ, you on one today. That's a fact. They got to have the best medical staff. Look at their coach. Their coach is going to run these players into the ground. They got to keep them healthy. You ain't lying, brother. Oh man, that's funny. Shout out to the people that are viewing. Smash that like button. Thank you guys. Once again, shout out to the people on Twitch. Shout out to the people on Facebook. Thank you for tuning in and supporting the show. Andy in the building. International Andy, what's good? Appreciate you. Good to see you, man. Hope you're doing well. Knicks will be 2026 NBA champs. Good morning from Riverside, Cali. Good to see you, brother. Appreciate you. Alex Isaac is in the building. He says front office is responsible for injuries always. Coaches, available players. If the front office and medical staff say he's good to go, then it's a go. I don't know. I don't know, bro. I don't know about that. I would say maybe in some cases with different teams, but remember with this Knick team, Leon Rose already said, Tom Thibodeau's the coach. I'm going to let him make the decisions. That was by his mouth in the press conference. So when you look at it like that, understand that because here's my thing. Let me say this now and get this out, right? Before we get into the other stuff and, where we want to go with today's show. Let me put this out there because I've been meaning to say this for a minute. I don't know how many moves Leon Rose is responsible for. I actually feel like Leon Rose is a organizer, right? I kind of feel like he was brought here and thrust in this position because we needed some level of stability and we needed a strong organizational structure. I think Leon Rose is just a a person who makes moves on the board and puts people in position. I mean, I'm sorry, puts people in position to make moves on the board. You know what I mean? I don't know if Leon Rose makes a lot of these moves. He may have final say so, but I don't think he is doing any of the legwork, coming up with the information. I don't think he's the one pushing the agendas and the ideas. I think he's just signing off and going off of, okay, well, why do you feel this way? This is what, okay, and what's the basic? Sounds good to me. Go ahead, do it. That's what I think Leon Rose is. I'm not saying I'm for certain on it, but I really feel like if you look at the Knicks organizational structure, shout out to Divine and Shah on Knicks Real Talk. Last time I was watching the show, he put up the list of the Knicks heads, and in the executive positions, which a lot of those names I didn't even know, and I didn't even know that they had those titles. The Knicks got a lot of people in certain positions. Who knows what they do? I feel like Leon Rose is, and it's not a diss to Leon Rose. I feel like he's the figurehead. He's the one that you have to that is responsible. But I don't think he's making any of, like, I don't think he's doing any of this stuff. I think he has the right people in place to do all these different things. And he's just, let me know why you think it's a good move and I'll sign off on it. Or if you don't have a good case of why it's a good move, I just won't sign off on it. But I think that's what he's doing. So yeah, man, I don't know. And when it comes to the Tibbs stuff, I just, the front office, I just think Tibbs has a lot of the power. It was the same thing that goes along with Scott Perry. Him being here was, to help facilitate the transition for Leon Rose, who has never done the job before, to have someone that they can go to and understand what is expected of you in this role. Scott Perry was there to help see him through and teach him how things are supposed to go, and then give him feedback on stuff and decisions so that he can get his feet wet and understand what the job requires. So that's why when you look at the thumbnail and I say Scott Perry, no problem, with a question mark, it's twofold. It's one, Scott Perry did his job. Like, he helped put the Knicks in a much better position capital wise. We've got some draft picks and we won 47 games due to some of the people that were drafted, right? And we have some flexibility. We don't have the greatest flexibility, but we've got some flexibility that if we want to make a move, we can. And he also was put in, not put in place, but he stayed in the organization to help, show Leon Rose the ropes of how to, be a, president of basketball operations. And I think he's been here long enough that, how much more can he tell Leon Rose? And Leon Rose can probably go from here. And we have a bunch of different people in all these different positions. And we also have Gerson Rosas, as a consultant who was a former president of basketball operations in Minnesota. So you've got all these pieces to help you to guide you through. And then you've got a guy in Allen Houston who's been here for a while, has been moving up the ranks in all types of executive positions. So you probably got good pieces in place no matter what if Scott Perry does move along, right? Now, I put the question mark because I'm like, well, Scott Perry also gave us some stability, right? Because he helped draft certain talent. He helped acquire certain draft picks. With him not here, will we still be able to, get the same type of talent we've been getting? Some people may say it's not the greatest talent, but I beg to differ. We've got good talent. We don't have great talent. We've got good talent. And that is due, in fact, to Scott Perry and Steve Mills and how they were drafting. The other thing is, being able to continue to acquire pieces and assets to stock the war chest so we can have, picks to trade in the future. Stuff like that. So, yeah, it's all pretty interesting. Billy Goat in the building. Salute. What's good? Yeah, well, we'll talk. This show is just about different scenarios, different moves that, may present itself, different people we should look at. We'll take a look at some different picks. Margaret is out on Spider. I don't know. It's tough, man. Huh. I just don't see. I don't see Cleveland trading away the assets that they gave away to get Spider, only to trade him to the Knicks to get our assets. It's kind of like, do you value the players you traded away more than, or do you think that our players are better than the players you traded away? Because Lauri Markkanen is a good player. I don't know. Could you kick the tires? Yeah, but I mean, as much as we want to look at Spider and how he didn't do that much in the playoffs, right? Spider was great for Cleveland in the regular season, and he put up some really nice numbers. You think Cleveland wants to get rid of? This is Cleveland, guys. Let's not forget Cleveland. You know what I mean? They want to have a name that draws fans. Like, they're not the Knicks. The Knicks can sell out. We can put a G League team out there and we'll sell out. Cleveland needs to put fans in those seats. So I don't think it's going to be that easy to part ways with Donovan Mitchell. So just keep that in mind. I don't think you're just going to give him up. Ajay is in the building. Salute, Ajay. What's going on? Hope you're doing well, my brother. He said, salute, Ron, SKF Nation. Just wanted to point out that every player who got injured in Knicks Heat series was hurt by Bam Adebayo. Coincidence or strategy? Food for thought. Hey, man, listen, I've already said there's dirty players and there's players who play dirty. I think Bam Adebayo is a player who plays dirty. I don't know if he's a dirty player per se. To me, when I think of a dirty player, you're intentionally trying to hurt someone. And I know some people feel like Bam may be intentionally. I don't know if that's the case. What I will say is I believe that the way Bam plays, he's going to get people hurt. He's too all over the place with his movements. And he's floppy. His hands are hitting. His elbows are going up. He's just so it's all over the place. He's throwing his body. He's dropped. The way he plays, like in the Denver game, in the first game of this NBA Finals, he hit Michael Porter Jr. in the face with his hand. And I don't care what anybody says. I'm telling you that you can tell that that's not on purpose. The way he went, he didn't even know Michael Porter Jr. was right behind him. The way he was moving his arm, he was trying to, do something, and his arm just flipped back, and it hit Michael Porter in the face. I'm just telling you, Bam is all over the place. He's gangly. You know what I mean? And he hurts people. I played with players like that when I was young. There was a guy I used to play with all the time. Dude, he would hit everybody. And he's just out there playing, but just his physical style of play, he didn't have the coordination when it comes to finishing plays, and he would hurt people. So, and as skilled as Bam might be, he can be a little gangly at times. I don't know. I mean, I'm going to say 50-50. He might have done certain things on purpose, but other things, I think, even is not on purpose, he still hurts people. He's just, because the way he plays, he's all over the place. He loses some body control. It's just ridiculous. But another guy who's like that, and thankfully he hasn't been able, but Julius Randle hits a lot of people the way he plays. And I'm surprised someone hasn't got more physically hurt by Julius, because Julius is wild with his elbows and his arms. I'm surprised, maybe because he's so big, pause, that people are like, yeah, that's Julius. He's all over the place. Look at his body. Like, leave him, he's going to do stuff, because Julius be slapping people sometimes, like with them karate chops. So just saying. Kibbit 1 is in the building. Kibbit, I appreciate you being here. I mean, I'm not sure if I've seen you in the chat before, but if this is your first time, thank you for being here. And if you're returning, thanks for coming back. Appreciate you. I already said what's up to Billy Goat. Oh, okay. Not on medical issues. I got you. I see what you're saying. Okay, Alex, I got you. My bad, brother. Nice is in the building. Salute, Nice. What's good? Hope you're doing well. Appreciate you. Let's see what else we got here. Infamous New King is in the building. Salute. Good to see you. Cookie or Wilson. Mega NYK, what's up, Comega? Is in the building. Salute, my brother. Hope you're doing well, man. Silk Sutton is here. What's going on? Interesting. Well, yeah, true. Silk Sutton says a Cleveland owner may have LeBron Knight as trade superstar before you lose him for nothing. Agreed. But if that's going to happen, it's going to happen next year, not this year. Because remember, wait a minute. Yeah, I don't think he's a free agent until the 2025 season, right? So that means they still have him for this year to play and next year to play. Then he becomes a free agent. So if Cleveland's going to trade him, they're not trading him this season. They trade him next season. They're going to milk him and get whatever they can from him this year. And then next year, when there's a possibility he may walk, that's when you trade him. Yeah, his screens are horrible. Now that like I said, some may be on purpose. His screens, the way he does it, not good. I hear you. Bam is wild with those. Yeah, I mean, I was with you, Delano. I thought that they should consider Bob Myers as well. But as a lot of stuff has been coming out lately and what I've talked about and other people have talked about, Bob Myers left Golden State because he doesn't feel he has that same type of control that he had in the past. Like their system and situation over there has been changing. He's not coming to the Knicks. And I've already told you guys about how all the organizational heads that are listed on the Knicks, divisional depth chart. There's so many different names that hold down all these different positions. Bob Myers wants to be numero uno. So he's not coming over here, one, to be getting feedback from all these other people, and two, like, think about it. Knicks got a consultant in Gerson Rosas. They got Allen Houston, which is assistant GM or whatever his role is. You got Leon Rose. You got Worldwide. Knicks got a lot of hands in the cookie jar. You know what I mean? So Bob Myers ain't trying to come. If Bob Myers came to the Knicks, everybody's out. All of those dudes are out of here. And I know some of y'all may be like, fine, but don't forget it's a business and the CAA connection. So I don't know if Dolan wants to do all that. Just saying, that's the business side of it that don't go nowhere. So we gotta kind of think about that. But it is interesting, and he's definitely a good one. Just I don't see it happening. Maybe that's the case, Bricks Nation. Maybe he's all over the place by design to hurt other players intentionally, but accidentally. Maybe that's the case. Maybe that's what it is, bro. Yeah, you might be onto something there. That could be it. Bam is in Dennis Rodman training. Yeah, Dennis Rodman was a wild boy too when it came to that stuff. But he was just so good. He out hustled everybody that you let some stuff go. Yeah, man. Listen, NBA, it can be dirty. Almighty Finesse is in the building. What's good? Appreciate you. Good to see you, brother. JJ. Bam is a dirty player, plays dangerous. Yeah, he's not arguing there. Bam plays reckless. That I agree with 100%. He's definitely reckless. Accidentally on purpose. I know, that's great. Yeah, that you hit it with that one, bro. People like that one. Yeah, better watch your ankles playing against Miami. Facts. JJ, I hope you're doing well, brother. As always, my guy. Good to see you. Ron Artest was another one, but he was effective. It's true. Yeah, man. Yeah. So anyway, if you just joined the show, we touched on Julius Randle um, and his ankle surgery. Turns out the ankle injury was worse than initially we were led to believe, which, like I mentioned already, wasn't a big surprise to me. Kind of already felt like it was worse than they said or they thought, and that we were going to find out later. But once again, even though I can see how that affected him offensively with his rhythm and everything, and took him out of his comfort zone, it still doesn't account for his effort on certain defensive plays and just doing what he needs to do to help the team win. There's just certain things that he could have done a better job at, and would have helped the Knicks. Not saying that he's the only reason why, the Knicks lost, but he does have something to do with it because we depend on him. You know what I mean? He's not just an average player for the Knicks. He's one of our best players. And so, there's just no way around that. We need Julius to be able to play at least 90% of what we're used to seeing or better, for the Knicks to have a chance, because Jalen Brunson can't do it by himself. RJ Barrett can help, but sometimes that's not enough, especially when you're playing in the playoffs and all these baskets, every possession matters. You know what I mean? It's just different. Like, you just need more. But so we talked about that, and then we also talked a little bit about Scott Perry and whether or not the Knicks will be okay without Scott Perry or not. It still remains to be seen. I think they will be okay because of all of the people they have in all these different positions. I think they'll be fine to a certain extent. But the other thing is, we don't know how influential he is in these war rooms when it comes to talent evaluation, talking about players to draft, acquiring pieces. Like, Brock Aller gets a lot of credit for figuring out ways for the Knicks to get under the cap and stuff like that. But is Brock Aller doing that by himself? Is he in talks with Scott Perry, or is Gerson Rosas? And we don't know who's in these talks. Like, who really has a lot of say when it comes to coming up with these plans of how the Knicks are going to move. So, I mean, we're going to find that out eventually, I guess, or we may not find out, but we'll notice something's different. If something seems off, we're like, well, what's different? Oh, Scott Perry's not here, so that must be it. I mean, I don't know. It's tough to really, gauge that. We'll just wait. We'll wait and see, right? We'll wait and see. Let me see who else is here. All right. S. Middleton is in the building. Salute to you. Thank you. Appreciate you, man. I'm glad you enjoy it. Unfortunately, well, I'll tell you real quick. I like KP. I think he would be someone we should really look at getting. It just all depends on how it works and how much money KP wants. You'd have to get him in some type of sign and trade. And then what would that leave the Knicks with afterwards? Because you don't want to stop at KP. The Knicks need a backup point guard. We might still need a 3-and-D type player to help us. So how would we be able to do all that while getting KP? If it really looks like, because KP is a pretty solid player, and he helps stretch the floor. He helps defensively. He's not great defensively, but he's not bad either. And he can block shots. He's a decent rebounder. He rebounds. He gets about a little over 8 a night, and about almost 9 rebounds a night, which is decent. Yeah, and he's there's something to be said about him coming back to New York, and apologizing for how things turned out the last time around. You know, some fans would really like that. I know. So it all depends. But if you want to see a little bit more in-depth talk about KP and what we thought, you can, if you have a chance, you can tune into last week's show. There's timestamps on it, so you can just click on KP and you'll see what we talked about. We had the panel going and we broke down our feelings about KP going forward. So, but thank you for being here and subscribing. Hit that like button, man. Appreciate you. Let me put this link out there in the chat for those who may want to join in and jump on the panel. You are welcome to. Ajay says, Ron is like Goodfellas. Business burned down. F you, pay me. Ankle needs surgery. F you, play me. Oh, man. Oh, well, F you, play for me, should I say. Yeah, I got you. But that's still funny. Shot Power says Grimes comes in with his shot. Remember, on time being a starter at RJ becomes more efficient. Yeah. You can hope for that. Yeah, I'm with you, DSJ. Hopefully the Knicks promote from with. I think they will, because I just think they got too many organizational pieces that are already there, like all these names. I'm sure someone from inside is going to get the job. It's either I think that the front runners are Allen Houston and Gerson Rosas. I think it's probably should go to Allen Houston, but I wouldn't be surprised if the Knicks try to pull the wool over the NBA's eyes. Yeah, we know he's got some scandal, but that's okay. It's been a year removed. Now he's good. I wouldn't be surprised. Infamous New King thinks Scott Perry is on his way to Sacramento. I mean, it could be. I mean, he likes to move to different teams that and he has no problem going to small market teams. But Sacramento's on the rise, so that'd be a nice look for him. I don't know how much more he would do over there because they seem pretty good. They seem all right. But it would be interesting. Okay, so where was I? Infamous New King says, you can't have Randle and KP, both number 3 options. We need a true 1 or 2 offensive 3-level scoring option. Well, maybe, but remember, don't forget, KP is giving us something that we don't have currently. So even if he's not a number 1 scoring option, he's a center that can score, which we have not had. A center that can score, can block shots, and stretch the floor, which opens up the court for somebody like Jalen Brunson. You put KP out there on the perimeter, and you say, here, Jalen Brunson, take the ball. If you want to double team Jalen Brunson and leave KP open, who shoots around 40% from 3, oh, go ahead. By all means. That's what I'm saying. He gives us a different element. You don't need to have a number 1 scoring option if you've got a bunch of number 2s or / 3s that can do different things on the court. You got it has to make sense, though. I'm not saying you can just throw anybody out there. It's got to make sense. You got to have some 2s, some 3s, but you got to have a good amount of them at different positions so that it allows you a lot of flexibility if you're going to play it that way. But I hear what you're saying. I hear you. Where was I? Scott Perry going back to OKC? It depends. Maybe. Could use a big man with offensive skill and dump Mitch. That's true. Yeah, that's the connections. That's how that whole thing, the bread gets buttered. Scott Perry goes somewhere else and opens up a line of communication with another team for the Knicks. That's a possibility. And that's how the NBA works. It's all business. That's what I'm saying. The pick and pop with KP and Brunson is what I'm getting excited about. That's what interests me. And I think that maybe everybody can't see it, but it's something that we should look into. All right, so let me see. I got somebody backstage. Get him up in here. Welcome, Nick. What's going on, brother? How are you? Oh, can you hear me? I mean, I can't hear you though.
Can you hear me now?
Oh yeah. Now I hear you.
All right. Good morning. Top of the morning.
What's going on, brother?
Chilling, man. Just woke up, went to the store, took care of a couple things, man. I seen you was on. I figured I'll come say what up to you real quick, man.
Appreciate you. Good to see you.
Likewise. How you been? How you been
doing? Hanging in there, man. Taking it day by day. Can't complain. I could complain, but who's listening?
Some of us care, some others don't, but you got to just take it one day at a time. It is what it is. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I hear you. Shout out to Vaughn Allen in the building. Salute. I see you. Shout out to Sherwin. What's good, Sherwin? Hope you're doing well. And shout out to I just had it. Oh, Philip Ware. Appreciate you, Philip. Good to see you. He said sign and trade Beal plus KP for Randle, IQ, and for that's not gonna work for them. They don't do that. They're not gonna do that. And man, I don't know. Am I the only one that's just not high on Bradley Beal? I don't know.
No defense.
Yeah, like I don't know what it is. Like he was something a force to be reckoned with, but I don't know if I feel the same way about him anymore.
People were just really wanting to throw out names because they just want to see us mix it up, and so they could say that at least we're trying. But you're supposed to be building and then trying around those pieces, moving those pieces around. You don't really move your major pieces until you could get an even better piece or equivalent pieces.
Well, okay. And Philip, and I see you say the salaries were clear. Yeah, the money part is good, but I just don't know if Washington would want that package back for them. But then again, they really might be wanting to move on from Bradley Beal. They gave him the money, but they're not getting the return on that investment over there. You never know. The KP thing, I think they probably want, to maximize whatever they could for KP. I mean, there's not many 7-foot players that can shoot the way he does and gives you those numbers because those numbers are good. I don't know. And that's a lot of money, man. KP is going to get a boost in his money, and Beal's already making crazy bread. No, I'd stay away from Beal. If you say you got to take KP and someone else to get the deal done, maybe I'd have to look at that. But get me. I don't know. Beal still gets hurt. Yeah, he's just not. I can't do it.
Signing trade for Bradley Beal is that it? But after we make that move, how are we improving just by having Bradley Beal? Because I don't think that's just going to improve the team.
I mean,
maybe scoring and another ball handler and a shooter. Somebody in that late game situation that you can actually trust with the ball in their hands. But if we deficient in other areas. And that's what people got to understand. If they're willing for us to be deficient in certain areas like rebounding, toughness, physicality, then some of these trades, yeah. But if you want you got to do better. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because the thing is, and Philip, thank you for the putting stuff in the chat. Appreciate you, brother. I think that the other thing you got to look at is. Some people might say, okay, you get KP in here, which will be an upgrade. That would be an upgrade. But if you bring Bradley Beal in, it might be a wash. You know what I mean? Because Julius is averaging 24, 25 points per game. You bringing in Bradley Beal, he's giving you somewhere around the similar, and he's actually regressed. He used to be someone that would give you close to 30 points per game, but he's dropped down
again for sure.
Yeah, he's dropped down. So it's like, how much better is he making us? If anything, he's replacing older. Julius scoring wise, but he can't rebound. He don't play defense. So like how that's why I look at it like that. Like
Pros and cons.
Really get better.
Yeah. Every time people drop these trades, I'm like, what are the pros? The first thing my mind goes to, what are the pros of having this person and what are the cons of having this person? What are the pros to losing our person and what are the cons to losing our person? So I try to attack it from 4 sides. You know what I mean?
Right. Sounds good. Let me get my other guy in here. I see you on the move out there in these streets. Nice. What's good, brother?
What's good, brother? How's everybody doing? Hey, Ron. Hey, pause on this, but I love you, bro. Like, I love everything you do. If there's something that keeps me excited, is doing what I do. But while I'm doing it, listening to you cats actually kicking it. I love that. So I appreciate you and your time. I can't say more than that. But man, we gotta start talking about trading people. Trading people like crazy.
Hey, man, listen, that's good. We're here for it.
You know that I started saying, all right, trade Julius Randle. And then you mentioned about that injury that he had on his ankle. And I started thinking, shit, like at the end of the day, I know that he believes in his team, but if there's one thing that has to change with Julius Randle is the way he moves with the team. Because I just don't like that energy, man, that he has. And he showed up, what is it, like for the last 2 to 3 years of slapping laptops. I don't care about the thumbs down because it's a time that comes to a player like, hey, man, enough is enough. Like, I understand, but it's not easy to play for the Knicks because Knicks crowd is crazy. But I'm
nice. If you don't mind, what how would you like for him to act?
No. When I say act, it's like one thing is against the crowd because think about it this way: when he's doing the thumbs down, he's not doing it in generality to every fan. It's those fans that is screaming hectic things that is a little bit out of bounds. You know, like it's certain things that you could say as a fan, but when you push a narrative and start attacking the family or start attacking somebody personal character, that's another thing. But what I mean that cross the line to me is that Emmanuel quickly. If you seeing that a brother is trying to like move you down so that you don't get a technical, it's because he sees how important you is for the team. And whenever you give them the opportunity, the other team or the opposing team is actually getting what they actually want. They want you to act that way. They want you to get that technical because they don't want you on the court. And when you have a player like Quickly or you have anybody trying to step up and trying to control you, it's not controlling you as a man, but it's showing you that, bro, they love you and they want to be there for you, but you got to give them the opportunity so that they could continue to do it. Because when things like that happen, man, next time it's like they're gonna have that mindset. Man, next time you start playing like in a dump and you want to complain, we're not even gonna try to control you. We're gonna let you do whatever Julius Randle want to do, and that could affect the game. That could affect the win. So that's what I'm saying. But at the end of the day, I believe always in second chance.
That's a good point. Good point.
And I wish that with all sincerity that Julius Randle stays with us. But man, I just wish that you have a better attitude about everything. You know, like if you seeing other players are trying to help you out, man, accept it. And whenever you see that you're not playing at your best, you gotta trust your teammates, man. All that optics about like the game we won. The first thing he did is instead of let's say giving everybody pound, everybody at least telling them, hey, great game, keep going. I'm pretty sure you already started having ankle problems since then. But you need to show that motivation so that whenever a player understands in the team that hey, they can help out. At least you help them motivate them to so that they could continue that type of vibe on the next game.
So you want him to be an encourager and not a discourager, is what you're saying.
Exactly, or somebody that's going to at least bring positive vibe for the team because we don't need that Julius Randle that we saw on certain occasions from this year, from last year, or 3 years ago. I want to see the best version of Julius Randle. To me, Julius Randle is one of the best players, but you limiting yourself when you start doing things like that. Like you got to start trusting.
Oh, the man's coming for nice.
Oh man, back.
For you to be kicked out.
Oh, there he goes. He's back.
I agree with you, but I also disagree in the fact that all that stuff you're talking about is from the outside looking in. You ain't on the inside looking out, so you don't really know what their relationships like are with the team. You don't know. Some people have vibes. Some people are more friendly than others. You know, based on his personality, is you know what I mean. Not saying everybody should be walking on eggshells around Julius Randle, but not every like when I go to work, yeah, I coexist with my people in the morning, but that don't mean I want to be in your face all day just because we work together. You feel what I'm saying? Sometimes some people just isolate themselves. So yes, you're on a team and whatever the case may be. And usually when you go to work, you work with a team. But the simple fact is that everybody has to move accordingly to people personalities, what they triggers, what they like, what they don't like. We all are susceptible and have to deal with it. So it depends on what his teammates say about him. I've never heard his teammates say he a bad player. I've never heard his teammates say bad. The only thing I've ever heard somebody say was when Derrick Rose was like, because I don't think Tibbs, and it's really Tibbs not holding him as accountable as he should be holding him. You feel what I'm saying? I definitely think Tibbs should be, you know, like he did if you ain't playing good, sit down. If you ain't doing this, do that. Talk, you know what I mean? Don't be afraid to talk to these players because you're the coach and they're the players. So you have to coach them. You can't be afraid to coach somebody. Not if you're a coach.
That's a fact. That's a fact. That's fair. And I can't believe I'm in this position, but I'm once again just shooting Julius a little bit of bail. I do see that Julius made a big effort this year to try to turn around how he's perceived, not only by the media, but the fans and his teammates. So I'm going to give him credit for doing that because I saw some stuff that I never seen him do before.
Yeah.
and he did some really good things. So that being said,
for sure,
I also like the fact that he knew that, you know, Miami.
Water, I'll hold it down, man. You know,
I just got to clear my throat. 2 seconds.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Hold on.
I'll hold it down. I agree with Nice with a lot of his points. You know, body language and, you know, how you treat people is definitely important. You feel what I'm saying? You should definitely treat people how you want to be treated in any situation, any scenario. You feel me? Unless, you know, they're coming for you type situation. But
yeah,
I feel like that, yes, body language could improve, attitude could improve, but we don't know all the semantics and the scenarios and the situations on the inside to really be making these type of assessments. You know, I get that we should talk about it, but, you know, I don't put a lot of value in it because we really don't know. We really don't have no idea.
Yeah. Wait. Yeah. Because I'm just looking at the shout out to Paris Duggar. Thank you for the generous super chat. Let me see something. Maybe I'm wrong. Hold on, because all these years and no one's correcting me. Now you got him. Damn it. Let's see here.
What are you looking for?
You know, Houston versus the Knicks back in '94. Knicks 94 championship. Let's just see, because you know I don't want to keep saying the same thing if I'm wrong here.
What was your original statement?
That John Starks did what he did in Game 6, and that the Knicks had a chance to win in Game 7. But if it was Game 7, that's a different story. I don't want to be putting misinformation out there. Let me just double check something.
90 what Knicks? 94 Knicks?
1994, yeah. Game stats.
I think I was like 7.
Let's clear this up. Let's see what we got going on here. That's a beautiful thing, B. That's a beautiful thing. All right, so Game 6 right here, because you know if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I'm willing to say I'm wrong. I really didn't think that was the case. Oh shoot, I'm wrong. Damn it! How you know how many times I've said this and no one has corrected me?
Because they
Jeez
don't
Louise.
know. They don't know because they're not doing the homework. They just want to talk basketball, man.
That's why Parish Duggar is Parish Duggar. I see you, Playboy. You know what I mean? Okay, sorry, DSJ. You're right. You could have that PTSD. Starks, you messed it up, man. Sorry. You gave us no shot, B. You messed us up. All right. I appreciate that, Paris. Thank you.
Game 7 was the game where he went cold. And he missed
6 he was hot. 7 was the one he went cold. But that still doesn't change what I said about Bill Buckner in Boston, guys. That was game 6. That I know for a fact.
Got to stand on some business, huh?
Yeah.
I feel
crazy. Damn, man, unbelievable. All these years I'm thinking that, and no one corrected me. Had me going, and I'm like, okay, well, I guess I'm right. That's how I remember it. Damn. Appreciate you, Parish, once again.
But you know, over time, your mind starts to meld things together, and you look at them as the same, and they be completely individual.
Facts. You ain't lying.
Doing that.
That is not a lie. Shout out to my guy Jay Boogie. What's good, my brother? Salute. 3 capital S's. Hope you're doing all right. And enjoying your Saturday. Yes, sir. D Coolest in the building. Salute, D Coolest. Hope you're doing well. Good to see you. Did I miss anybody? I think I got everybody. Oh, Jarrell Williams. Salute to you, my brother. Hope you're doing well. Damn, I can't believe that. No, Ajay, I thought it was game 6 too. No, it's game 7, bro. Yo, it's crazy. I just looked it up. 1994, game 7. Game 7, the Knicks lost 90-84, and Starks went 2 for 18.
He went cold in that game. Yeah,
unbelievable. Now let me just take a quick look at game 6 because apparently he was 9 of 18. He had 27 points. He was our leading scorer in game 6.
He said you could pay millions of dollars. Smoke, stop with that soft talk. Look, man.
And not for nothing, but do you blame John Starks for this? We was up 4 games. We was up 3 games to
1.
Yeah,
man.
That ain't no 3 to 2. We was up 3 games to 2, so that we lost game 6 and game 7. So actually, if you want to look at it, I'm saying it in reverse. It shouldn't have got to game 7 where John Starks went cold. He had 27 points, led the way, and we lost 86-84. We lost by 2 points. We should have won that game, and then we would have been NBA champions. So
and all we had to do was win 1 more game too. So you're right, and we had 2 chances. So that's a collective team effort. That ain't just on Starks. You know what I mean? People always want to point the finger at one particular person. Who blame is it? We need somebody to blame. They came in together and they lost together. It's everybody's fault. No matter
that stinks.
No matter if the person put up 50, 60 points. If you lost, you lost. We all take this L.
Yeah, that's a fact.
That's just how it is, man. It's not nobody's fault. It's everybody on that team fault. Whether they was injured, whether they wasn't injured, whether they contributed, they didn't contribute. It doesn't matter. They was there. They on the roster, their staff, the people that fed them, everybody. It's all their fault.
Unbelievable, man. I can't believe that. I feel like my whole childhood is messed up now. I'm like, God damn it.
But your childhood was better than mine. At least y'all got to see him go to the championship. We had Eddie Curry. Come on, man.
Yo, that's a fact, and I'm sorry about that. I don't think about that sometimes. Like the people who came after me, y'all didn't see any. Yeah. I hear you.
I got to see the 99 because I was born in 87, but that's not my point. My point is I was still not cognizant enough to, you know what I mean, really know about the Knicks. And when I started rocking with the Knicks, I was like 11 or 12, you know, even though I was always around Knicks. So I seen the 94 and I seen the 99, but I wasn't a fan. You feel what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
When I became a fan, the team was trash.
You
know what I mean? When I first became a fan, we did have Allen Houston and Sprewell, so I loved Sprewell for a while, right? But then they traded Sprewell to Minnesota, and then the team was trash for mad long. Mad long. To the point to where I stopped watching Knicks fans games and started watching and one mixtape. So, and that's back in the day. You see what I'm saying?
You know, it was bad.
So, because the team was trash, man. We traded Keith Van Horn for Tim Thomas. See, I go back just like I go back. So, and I'm just talking about my experience. You know what I mean? So it was terrible. So it was a long time. I was a Knicks fan, and I rep the Knicks, but I wasn't watching because we was bad.
I hear you. I mean, listen,
just keeping it real.
It's a different thing. So, it's a different thing. I respect it.
We should be happy right now that we back to where we want to be, where we staying relevant. We in the conversation. They ain't talking about us as much as they want to talk about people like LeBron and stuff. But you know what I mean? We ain't there yet. But we pulling up to the house. We at the door, and we about to knock. You feel what I'm saying?
Right. I like that. Oh, I think it's about that time, guys. Let's get into these different people that the Knicks can look at. This is the Knicks have to make some decisions. Part 3. As you guys already know, part 1 was 2 weeks ago. We went with the heavy hitters. We talked about the Embiids and the Cats and all of these people, the big names. Yeah. The ones that ain't coming. Yeah, basically. We talked about those in part 1. Part 2 was last week. We talked about the guys like Kyle Kuzma, KP, the more reasonable guys that may or may not come to the Knicks anyway. But the point is that it's a little bit more realistic. We talked about some other smaller pieces, Trey Jones, guys of that nature that the Knicks can target. And this week is going to be a little of the same. Some other names that people like, and then we'll move on from there. I'll get your opinions and thoughts on some of these names, bro. Let me just do this once again.
And I won't be so close-minded this time. I'll try to.
Okay. I like it. Appreciate y'all, man, and thank y'all for tuning in. Smash that like button once again. I don't know what the likes is looking like, but whatever they are, let's get that number up. Okay. All right. So the first guy up is look, Coach Sayer is in the building. Salute. Appreciate you, man. Good to see you as always.
Salute, sir.
I don't know about him. I can't see it, bro. I don't see, like, if there's somebody that I think Houston would move on from, I don't see him being a problem. They got some problems not problems, but they got some questionable pieces that they may say it's time to move on from. But Tyree Eason is fit a nice role over there. He looks good, so they might want to build with him. But I like him. So that being said, first one up is a guy we already talked about a little bit last week. I'm sorry, but I didn't put up any numbers or anything, and I felt like he should be included this week because I wasn't really thinking about it, but if the Knicks give the right offer, they might be able to pry him away, but I don't think they will.
Okay.
Herb Jones.
Oh, so we have to like the third or fourth tier of players.
Yeah. This is the lower tier. This is we love Julius Randle. We found out that he had a really bad ankle injury, so let's not just trade him away. That really hurt his game. We love RJ Barrett. We still want him here. We love IQ. We love Grimes. We think they can do better. Now, what else can we do? That's this.
Herb, 9-4, 2 assists, 1 steal, 49 field goal percentage, but he doesn't help our 3-point shooting.
He does not, no.
And his free throw is just above average.
Right. But I will say this. Okay, I'll read them off to everybody else who maybe, because there might be some people that are listening.
I was reading it. I was just breaking it down as I was reading it. Sorry.
No, I hear you. I'm just thinking like there may be some people that can't see it but are listening. So Herb Jones, points per game, 9.8 points, 4.1 rebounds, 2.5 assists, 1.6 steals, half a block, 46.9% from the field, which is better than I thought. 33.5% from 3. That actually is better than I thought too.
You could have just said 47% from the field.
Actually 46.9 is basically 47. That's facts. 76.4 from the free throw line, which You would like that number to be better, but think about the who we got on our team. Like RJ doesn't shoot that good. Randle, I think, is 77%. Yeah. So, you know, he's not far off of what we got. And he's a really solid defender. Really solid. And he's 6. Let me see here.
8?
He's 6'7", 232.
Yeah.
Wait.
He's tall.
Is that him? No. I'm sorry. That's the wrong guy. He's 6'7", 206. Yeah, 6'7", 206.
Okay.
I knew he was a little lighter than that. Yeah. So, listen, he's a guy that if the Knicks want to try to get, they can put a call in. I mean, I don't know if you know,
beyond the numbers,
New Orleans,
Ron. Beyond the numbers, what does he add to the team? Because the numbers don't tell you what he add and what he don't add. That just tells you a sum of what he does, right? That's not really telling you what is he good at. What can he dunk? Can he dribble? Can he defend? What does he actually do? You know?
Well, he is a lockdown type defender. I'm not saying he never gets beat, but he also puts people. He puts them in the blender and messes their styles of whatever they like to do up. He's that good defensively. He's got the long hands. He's got the long reach. He's very quick with his feet. He's good at anticipation. Once he gets up in the kitchen, you know you in trouble. So you got to kind of make your move before Herb kind of squares you up, because once he does, he can really lock you down. Okay. So he would be, he would be our best
defender.
Yeah.
From day one, immediately.
Yeah. Immediately.
Over Quickly, Grimes, and McBride.
Yep. He would be our best defender.
I would have to see it to believe it.
Watch some.
They get cooked, but they be defending, and people don't defend in the NBA, so I respect their effort. You feel what I'm saying?
I'm telling you, Herb Jones is a really good defender. You got to watch him. He's one of the best in the NBA. Now, the other thing, he's a dunker too. He's got athleticism.
Okay. Catching alleys?
He would have. Looking at the Knicks, what we got, he'd probably be our most athletic player. Yeah, Herb Jones is legit. B.
Hold on, over Obi?
See, the thing about Obi, here's my thing.
Obi's here's my thing. Though.
No. Obi's athletic,
but he's a stiff mover. But Obi is athletic, though.
Herb Jones is quick and he catches air. So if you want to say he's a little bit more athletic, I don't know. He's a leaper, B. He catches flight. Yeah. So I don't know. Okay. Maybe it just looks a little better. It probably looks a little better because he's shorter than him. Obi's 6'9", he's 6'7". So it just looked like he got more. You know what I mean? Maybe that's what it is.
And he's more wiry, and Obi's more like lanky. He just moves he just moves different. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Sorry, I got caught up. I kept that up too long. I was going to get back to the faces. But yeah, man, I just had somebody in the background. He's gone. Come back, twin. Yeah, I seen you. It was nice to see you. You know, come on back, brother. So yeah, I think Herb Jones is one of those guys that you know, you can easily say that if he comes to this Knick team, he changes what we got going on. Like that whole perimeter defense thing that you worried about with the Knicks, because we're always leaving guys open. Herb Jones locks down half of that. He can't be everywhere, but whatever side he's on,
okay,
problem.
Okay. Well, I'm open to any possibilities. You feel what I'm saying? Well, not any. That's a lie. Not any possibility, because some of the people possibilities is just unrealistic. But if Herb Jones can add some more defense and you know, get a person like Grimes not to have to focus on it so much, to where he could actually produce a little more on offense and quickly as well, that would definitely help. Not to say that the effort should go down, but if somebody could, you know, lessen their load, then yeah, you should consider that player.
Sherwin, come on, you can't do that, bro. Do you watch Herb Jones? He's not. Have you watched him?
I don't know about our best defender either, but
I'm telling you, Herb Jones is a really good defender. People think that Herb Jones is going to be in conversation for best defender in the league in his future. Okay. When you look at IQ or look at Quentin Grimes. Do you think these guys are going to be the defensive player of the year one day?
Nah, but
that's what they talk about with Herb Jones.
They can make all defensive NBA teams.
Yeah. Right. But there's a difference between making the team and being the guy.
But nah, I could see Grimes. I could definitely see Grimes making an all NBA, a defensive all NBA team in the future. I could definitely see that. The way he played, super hard, always moving. He moves his feet, don't play D with his hands. You feel what I'm saying? Like stuff like that. They do reach a lot. I ain't gonna lie. Some of the dudes reach way too much.
I'm just surprised. Sherwin loves defense. I'm surprised he doesn't respect Herb Jones' defensive game.
I don't know if he knows enough. I don't know.
Nah, he watches. He knows him. I mean, I don't know if he sees him the way I used to see him, because I was watching Herb Jones, and I remember last year's playoffs, and I watched him sometimes in the regular season just because of the NBA report.
He did look good when I watched him too. I ain't gonna lie, he did look good when I watched him too. A couple times I did see them. He was stepping up in bigger moments beyond his pay grade at that time. So I was like, oh yeah. Boy,
yeah, I just don't even know if New Orleans will be willing to get rid of him, especially when you don't know what they're gonna do with Brandon Ingram, you know.
Look,
who knows?
He was talking about getting BI at the beginning of the season, and like that was before, you know, when we was killing RJ. We was like, yo, trade BI and let the best friends go be best friends, you know, go be buddies or whatever. And then we'll take BI, you feel what I'm saying? And I think that's a fair swap. You feel what I'm saying? I don't think player for player, but you know, we got to make the money match and all the, you know, analytics or whatever. But I thought that was a player that we should definitely consider.
Yeah, I hear you. Let me say this real quick and get my guy in here. Jarrell, I said the man is athletic and OB, more athletic than OB. I'm not saying listen, this is what I want to say. This is what I want to say to people. Now, mind you, I've been watching the NBA for many years. I've seen athletic players. I've seen, you know, the Sean Kemps and the Corey Maggettis. When I look at an athletic player, that athleticism, if you dunk on a fast break by yourself, I mean, I'm not that impressed.
Nope.
When you dunk over people, that's when I say, oh, that guy's super athletic. You see this type of stuff that Donovan Mitchell tries to do he even tried to do it to us a couple times. Those are athletic dudes that try to, I don't care if you're right there, I'm coming right at you and I'm going over your head and you ain't stopping me.
Jobby jumping like 11 feet, 12
right,
feet
right,
trying to dunk on people. I'm like, bro, you gonna hurt yourself.
I don't get that feeling from Obi. That's the only reason why sometimes I downplay his athleticism. I know he can jump. I just don't see him doing that stuff.
He's not no
so
dog,
you know,
he's not no dog. He fighting to get that dog in him, but he don't like to dunk on people. He's too friendly with people, and he just like, you know, he could leak out and get the ball, so he the first person to show you something stylish. But when it comes down to, oh, I need to make one hard move and then bang it on you, he ain't doing that. Yeah, I ain't never seen it, and it's been like 3 years.
What is going on? Kareem, the Dream Grant is in the building. What's up, brother?
Salute.
Hey, look at you. What's happening, bro?
Not much, man. How you doing, Sherwin? Peace, bro.
You already know the vibes. You know what I mean?
Hey, I've been listening while I was cutting grass.
Oh,
yeah. I thought I'd drop in before I start doing my daddy duties.
Yeah, man, appreciate it. It's just good to see you, brother, because I haven't seen you in a minute in person, so it's good to see you, man.
Yeah. My first feature on here.
Yeah, man, it's the first time. I'm excited to see you, bro. I'm really nice, man. What's your thoughts on Herb Jones? I don't know if you're that familiar with him.
I like Herb Jones, but I don't see them giving him up. I mean,
that's the thing.
They're doing good. They're doing good with you know, without what's his name, Zion. So I don't see them really making any big moves right now or any small moves. And plus, us trying to deal with them, they, you know, it's like dealing with Utah. They're gonna try to take everything we got just for one player. So, but I don't see him, you know, making any moves with the Knicks. But I like him though. I like him a lot.
And yeah, I hear you. Thank you, Sherwin, for putting up Herb Jones's defensive rating, 111.6. You know, this is what I like to say to people, because I think about all types of different things when I'm trying to come up with content and evaluating somebody, like evaluating, but like looking at somebody like, how can I talk about this guy? Does it make sense for the Knicks? When I look at these players, not only do I look at their defensive ability or their offensive ability or whatever they can do, I look at the fit and the team they're on. And then I say, whoa, we got a defensive coach. Some might say he's a defensive guru, but he don't have all the horses. He's turned Quentin Grimes has been a decent defender. You know, we knew he has defensive chops. No one really knew that Emmanuel quickly played defense the way he's been playing defense. I would say, Thibodeau has a lot to do with that. So you're telling me that I can get a guy who has defensive ability, is willing to play defense, loves playing defense, and put him on the Knicks? I'm like, what can Tom Thibodeau do with this guy? That's how I look at it too. So you look at the defensive rating 111 or whatever. I'm like, put that defensive rating on the Knicks and see what Tom Thibodeau gets out of him. That's how I look at things too. So, a lot of things can be what they are. Things change. I get it. And I understand that, but remember, we're looking at a guy who fits the 3 and D type thing for us. The 3 part, not so much, but the D part, I think he does. I think he gives that to us. He gives us athleticism. He has a little bit of dog mentality in him. And the other thing about him, he's young. He can grow with the team. And if we can keep some of these other guys, imagine if you have a lineup where Herb Jones is out there, even if he plays some with the starters, if he's a starter, and then we use him in the second unit too. Imagine him being out there with Grimes and Quickly. That perimeter is locked down because now nobody has to worry about the other guy's guy. Like, I got my guy. I know this guy got his guy. They can just press up on these guys and stop that 3-point shooting. We had Herb Jones against Miami, we would be moving on. I'm telling you right now. So that's kind of how I look at it. But I hear you guys. Like I said, this is just thoughts. These are just guys that we're looking to maybe get that are a little cheaper than some of these big names. People want to go after Giannis and Embiid and like it's going to happen. Look, I'm just saying, I don't know. Yeah, but but I hear you guys, like, and I definitely hear you, Sherwin. Maybe you don't feel you've seen. Listen, Herb Jones is only his second year in the league, so maybe you don't feel like you've seen enough from him, which I can respect that. That's okay. That makes sense. I'm just saying, like, I think that he's someone that if the Knicks got him, he would be an instant difference maker because of his ability and how Tom Thibodeau would use him. I think you'd fall in love with him. You'd be like, oh, wow. I mean, I knew Herb Jones was okay. He's a dog. I like him. I like the way he plays. I like his aggressiveness. Because he's aggressive on defense, which is weird to say, but he is. Yeah, so that's all I'm saying. Just let's be open-minded because some of these guys are haven't shown the full potential of what they can do. You look at Mikal Bridges, everybody's like, oh, Mikal Bridges is a really good defender, but offensively he's Then you send him to Brooklyn where there's nobody else there and he has to score, and look at what he's doing. That's what I'm saying. Like, you just don't know until you put people in different situations, give them different opportunities. Then you're like, oh, okay. Well, I didn't know that he was like this. That's all I'm saying. I'm just keeping an open mind, and I want you guys to do that as well. Nothing's perfect, and who knows? We don't know what the Knicks are going to do. They may come back with the same exact squad and make no moves. So,
hey, run it back.
They may run it back. They may run it back, but you hope that they will be open to improving the team somehow, because they're going to have to figure out something with Fournier. Fournier may not even be someone that's easy to move, but he wants to play. He don't want to sit. Fournier is not sitting on the bench again with these Knicks and not playing, and is going to remain quiet. I don't see it. He was a good camper last year. He ain't doing it again.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he was very vocal about it, so I don't see him sitting on the bench for another season.
Yeah, I agree with you. I just think we gotta appreciate that he definitely played his role with the team, and he didn't make it a big controversy and have the media all around the Knicks for not playing them. He just did what he did. It was what it was. But don't expect him to do that 2 years in a row. Not at all. All right. So that's that. We can move on from Herb Jones, but before we do, let me just shout out a couple more people. I see you, Margaret Edwards. The Knicks need shooters. That's a fact. Boulevard 73 in the building. Salute. Angel Torres is in the building. Salute to you, my brother. Good to see you. He says, Comega saludo, familia. I see you. Un poquito. Okay, anyway, whatever. Let's move on. Ken is in the building. Salute, Ken. Appreciate you, brother. Alec Burks. Sherwin, what are you doing here? This guy's like City will be a better defender than Herb. What? What are you telling me? Why does that even matter at this point? Are the Knicks gonna get him? Because unless you're telling me the Knicks are getting him, why does it matter? Michael Jordan was a better defender than a lot of guys. Every time I see a good defender, am I going to say, well, he's not as good as Michael Jordan was? What are we doing here, Sherwin? What are we doing? Help me, brother. Help me. Anyway, sorry. I got no water either. Killing me. All right, so who else we got here? Shop Howard says, don't be surprised if you see IQ as in starter. IQ wants 2 starts and wants the bag. He wants to start and he wants the bag. Yeah. Facts. Listen, I don't like Burks coming back to the Knicks only because of Tom Thibodeau and the way he likes to use the guy. If Burks can come back and we can have him off the bench, I'm cool with it. But Kareem, Tom Thibodeau, like, oh, well, now that Burks is here, we don't have another point guard as good as Burks. When we got Jalen Brunson over there. Now, Burks is our best option at point.
Yeah. That's Thibodeau's favorite toy right there. He got blinders on when he's playing. He don't see nobody else except Burks.
Yeah.
Quarter Burks.
Yeah, I mean, come on, man. You know what I mean? Like, I get it. All right, so let's move on and talk about the next person on the list. This is a guy that Knicks fans have been talking about forever, and it still remains to be seen if the Knicks can get him or if they even want him, because there's been some transition over there on his team. So OG Anunoby, folks, 16.8 points per game, 5 rebounds, 2 assists. 1.9 steals, almost 2 steals a game. Yes, he's a really good defender. A little over a half a block, 47.6% from the field, 38.7% from 3, and 83.8% from the free throw line. OG is a good player. The only problem I have with OG Anunoby is I feel like when everybody's there, he gets quiet. Like he plays his role and it's sleepy out there for him, and sometimes Toronto needed him, but once he gets into that quiet role, he doesn't get the touches. He's not as effective, and when they need him to hit a big shot, open shot in the corner, he sometimes gets quiet. But when like Siakam was hurt, or Gary Trent Jr. was hurt, or Van Vliet is out, you see OG step up and show you what his game can do. It's just when they're all there, he's not as aggressive. Well, I mean, some of that makes sense, but it's just he doesn't look like the same type of player that he can even give you certain things. He needs a lot of touches, which is something to think about. So if you go out and get yourself an OG Anunoby, he needs to be a number 2 or a number 3 option on your team to get the best out of him. So if I'm thinking like that, our number 1 option is Jalen Brunson, or some might say it could be Julius, just the way they play, but it's Jalen Brunson. Number 2 is Julius Randle. So our number 3 is RJ Barrett. And if I just told you it looks like OG's much better when he's a 2nd or 3rd option, what does that tell you? That who should go in the trade for OG Anunoby? You know what I mean? So you still there, Smoking Nick? He may not be. He may have stepped away. So I'm gonna go to you, Kareem. What do you think about OG Anunoby?
I like OG. He played good defense, and like you said, when everybody's there, he kind of falls back a little. And I don't know if that's the kind of player we need in our system. He's going to fall back when we need shooters. You know what I'm saying? We need that dog. You know what I'm saying? And if he can't be that dog, then I don't see the point. You know, and who we willing to give up for him? Got to be somebody that's I will say that really didn't impact the team like that. Um, I don't know. I mean, and you know who's the GM over there? You know, he
Mm.
wants everything. So we gonna have to give up some players. You know, so are you willing to do that?
That's the question, fellow Knick fans. That's the question. Are you willing to give up the players that it'll take to get OG Anunoby to be a New York Knick? Because it's going to take
I'm
something.
gonna tell you. I'm gonna tell you right now. I believe RJ is going to have to be in the mix of that.
Yeah, no, definitely. And what I said right now is I think he has to be in the mix because I think OG doesn't play well when he's just a role player. He needs to be a big part of the rotation and the offensive mix. So he's not stepping over Jalen. And if Julius is here, he's not stepping over Julius. The only person I can see him having to step over because is RJ. So you got to trade RJ to get OG, in my opinion, because OG's not effective if RJ is here and OG's here. Just I don't see it, and I don't think I've already said this before. I just don't really think that long term RJ and Randle work together.
Nah, nah, nah. I think Randall he slows the pace down when RJ plays better when they play in speed, so a fast pace. So that's why I think it's they don't complement each other very well when they play together. And you see the difference when RJ played with the bench. You know, it's a different pace. You know, RJ plays better. So what does that tell you? You know, and Brunson he likes that fast pace as well. So
Yeah.
one of them have to go, and I rather for it to be Randall, in my opinion.
It's tough. I don't know. I'm still really, I could see how they can make it work, but I don't know. One of them I think does have to go eventually. I don't know if it'll be yet because the Knicks just haven't been comfortable pulling the trigger on moving either one of them really to get it done. Because we already said you say they put RJ out there in the Donovan Mitchell thing, but they didn't do it, did they? So yeah, it's tough. I don't know. I'm not sure.
We don't even know what Toronto's going to do with their roster now since they got rid of their coach and everything, and so we don't know what's going to happen.
That's why I'm saying, like, you never know. Like, a lot of these guys could be open to be moved, not altogether, but like they may be willing to move off of certain guys because we don't know the direction that Toronto wants to go in.
Right.
So that part is very interesting to me. Is Smoking Nick back? I don't think he is. Let me see what the chat says. Give him a little bit more time. If not, then we'll move on to the next person. Give him a little bit more. Let's see what the chat is saying. Oh wait, let me read this super chat from Parrish Duggar. Thank you, Parrish. Appreciate the generous super chat. He said Akeem blocked Starks 3 that would have won the game. How the hell do you remember this? Dude, I can barely remember what I did or what I ate yesterday, man. I don't know how you remember that Akeem blocked Starks' shot. Damn. It's crazy. Shout out to you, brother. Very good stuff. Also, thank you for the other generous super chat. He said, guys gain experience and will get way better. That I think you're talking about our young Knicks. And some of the other guys too. Yeah, I mean, going through the playoff situation, winning a playoff series is definitely going to help them in the long run. They can only get better. So I hear you on that. I'm with you. Ken says don't want him. Oh, we're talking about OG Anunoby. Don't want him. He's always getting injured. That is the thing about him. He does get injured.
Yeah.
You ain't lying about that.
Thibodeau system.
Yeah, that's see, this is what I'm talking about. Like, there's no perfect scenario. There's all these guys, and that's what I always say. There's these guys that Knick fans and teams target, but there's a reason why that you can even target them, because they're injury prone or something's going on. Like, Brandon Ingram is always in trade talks. If Brandon Ingram was healthy, he's not getting traded from nowhere because he's a beast.
Yeah.
That's the problem. Like, the only reason we can even talk about him is because we know he always gets hurt, and so a team might be willing to let him go. And so you're the team that gets him, and then you're like, oh, he's always hurt for us too. Yeah, I mean, that's just how it is, man. I don't really know what to say about that. It's tough. Like, so, like, who do you're gonna, if you want to get somebody or steal a player from somewhere, you're gonna have to take a chance on someone who gets hurt most likely, and hope that with your top medical staff, you can keep this guy healthy and just get lightning in a bottle.
Yeah, we already got
how else?
Derrick Rose.
Right, right. How else can you look at it? Because, like, you just don't know what's gonna happen. Dude, I think for the Knicks to get that star player, or not a star player, that number 2 player, we got to take a chance on somebody that might be a little injury prone.
Yeah.
I don't like it because I don't want the team to be built that way. But if you want to change the star power, you might have to do that, because I don't know how else you can get that guy. We don't have the free agent money to go sign somebody.
A Paul George or Kawhi type, you mean?
No, not a Paul George or Kawhi type, because they stay hurt. That's different. They are hurt. Somebody that gets hurt here and there, like, can have bad injuries, but then sometimes, like, they might be able to give you 60 games. You know what I mean? Like, it's got to be somebody like Paul George and Kawhi. Like, I wouldn't touch Kawhi. I don't care how good he is. Kawhi gets hurt way too much. Then you got to put him on what do you call that? Role management or whatever, managing his minutes. Nah, no. Nope.
What about Porzingis?
Porzingis played 60 games, 62 games this past year, 60 or 62, something like that. I'll take that from my big guy. You know what I mean? To me, that's not too bad for a center in the league. So I'll take that.
He used to get, I don't want to say he got hurt a lot, but he got hurt enough, in the previous season. So, but he got better as he got older. But
and he put a little weight on.
Yeah. Thibodeau's motto is, the best ability is availability. So, if we get somebody, I just hope it's somebody that's not injury prone.
That's a fact. Well, I mean, so yeah, that's that. Let me see what where is it? Margaret said, forget it. RJ stays. Jay Boogie says, crazy how you say that, because Julius is faster than RJ. He gets, oh, you're talking to someone else. He gets backcourt violation. The court is 20 seconds. KP gives RJ and Grimes more shots. Okay. Shah said, really could see Randle and IQ for KP. I mean, I kind of could see it too, but I don't know if the Knicks want to do that. That's an interesting question. That's always an interesting question. The coolest 718 says, does Randle play as well as he did this season or better next season after the surgery? Yeah, interesting. Yeah. It's tough, guys, but just want to put that out there because people love to throw the OG Anunoby thing out there. He is a very good defender and he's a solid scorer. But he gets injured a lot, and he gets quiet when all of the other players are healthy and out there with him. So, two things to keep in mind and to think about. I don't know what works better for the Knicks and what they're trying to do, but let's move on. Next guy up is Norman Powell. And OG Anunoby, by the way, is 6'7", 230 pounds, around there. So that way you know, as opposed to Herb Jones, who was 6'7", 206 pounds. So, you know, OG's a bigger frame, stronger person. Norman Powell is 6'3", 215 pounds. But, you know, you guys were talking about or have been mentioning that the Knicks need better shooting, right? And Norman Powell does provide that. 17 points per game, 2.9 rebounds, 1.8 assists, 1.9 steals. Wait, hold on. Let me double check that. I might have not changed that by accident. I apologize, guys. Yeah, that was the one thing I did not change. Sorry about that, guys. Let me see if I could do that. We'll talk about it, and I'll change it and put that up so that people know exactly what it is. But yeah, he's 0.8 steals. Okay. And then 0.3 blocks. I was so quick to get this out. I didn't change those two things. Sorry about that, guys. 2.9 rebounds. Yeah. 2.9 rebounds, 1.8 assists. That is correct. All right. So he's 17 points per game, 2.9 rebounds, 1.8 assists. He's actually 0.8 steals, not 1.9. That was OG's numbers. And he's 0.3 blocks. The shooting, he's 47.9% from the field. So basically 48% from the field. He is 39.7, so basically 40% from the free throw line. I mean, from the 3-point line, and he's 81.2% from the free throw line. So he is a very solid shooter, and gives the Knicks something that they have been lacking, even with Emmanuel Quickly, who we missed throughout the playoffs. Quentin Grimes did not shoot at that level, so he's an upgrade. RJ doesn't shoot at that level right now, so he's an upgrade. What do you think about Norman Powell, Kareem?
I like Norman Powell. He's a good shooter as well. How many years do he have left on his contract?
His current contract, I think I dropped it down. Norman Powell. So he's currently in 123. He's got 3 years left.
I will make a move for him, in my opinion. Of course, we have to give up most likely IQ. Throw in some other players in there. Would you give up Obi?
Yeah, maybe an Obi.
Yeah.
I mean, where would they? Yeah, maybe. I mean, because Kawhi plays power forward for them, I think. Mm-hmm. Yeah, he can back up Kawhi
when he plays.
right. When he plays. Yeah, that's a good point. That is a good point.
Yeah, throw in some picks, if you have to. But I would love to have him on the team.
Yeah, I think he's a solid player, and he can go get his. Like I watched some Clipper games and just like seeing when he kind of lets the starters do their thing. He comes into the game and then he picks his spot and then he goes off. That's a nice, nice guy to have coming in off the bench and jump starting your offense.
I agree. And him playing with Hart as well. Yeah, I would like that.
Yeah. Let's see what the chat is saying. William believes KP is better for space for Brunson and allows him to cook. They're talking about KP, Herb Jones, and RJ Hyatt without shoes. Oh, man. Salute. Keyshawn in the building. What's good, brother? Hope you're doing well.
Salute.
That's an interesting point. Parrish. He says OG Anunoby plays with too much weight on him. That's why he's always hurt. There may be some truth there because, high, 6'7", 230, and I think it was 239, 236, something like that. It's a good amount of weight.
Yeah, 6'7", yeah. I mean, he ain't like Zion big, but I mean,
yeah, you might have a point there. Maybe that's why he continues to be in a situation where he's, getting hurt. I mean, I don't know. Let me see what else we got here before we move on to the next person. Where is that? Okay. Okay. I think they're still talking about overall.
How do you feel about giving up McBride?
I guess it would depend on the interest, right? It would depend on if a team wants, like, if they really want McBride, if they're saying, "Oh, we'll do this, we'll do that," and you give us McBride. If that's what they want, then because that means they value him, so we can actually use him. But if not, I don't know if I would just put him in a trade to throw him in there to make a deal work. Because I think he gives us more value if we keep him, because you never know when, you might need a McBride to help. I know Tibbs doesn't always look like he, gives him the opportunities that we think he needs, but, you never know when that might change. Or if, say, something happens and Tibbs is not here, maybe somebody else values McBride a little bit more. And, if we get rid of him, then, it's a lost opportunity.
I don't know. It boggles me because I like McBride, and I know Tibbs wanted him because of his defense, and seeing him in the G League, scoring like it wasn't nothing. Like he looked like a star playing, and then when he back on, up on in the team, he just, I don't know, he's just not the same. He has like all these open shots. You don't make them or you don't take them, and it's like it's weird. It's like I see a lot of potential in him, but I don't know. Just when he's on the team, he just plays different compared to the G League, And I don't know if he's just not getting enough time or just not enough confidence in him because he don't get time. I don't know, but I would love to keep him myself, but if he's not, really
I think it's just because the NBA game is it's a lot faster. Like the holes that you might see open up close really quickly when you're trying to get through them. McBride doesn't have the fastest first step, so when he sees something and tries to go, the those lanes close up very quick, and then he's kind of stuck, and then he's dribbling around, and then he gets the shot clock is going down. So now he's got to give it up to a more effective offensive player so that we can get something out of the possession, and that can constantly happens with him. The other thing is he does lack some confidence. He's not the best shooter, even though I think he's probably a very good 2-point shooter if he really works on that, because I seen him knock down a lot of twos in college. And when he's even with the Knicks in the G League, that's mid-range shot looks like it goes in. I don't know why he doesn't take more of them. We're too caught up in this 3 game. So, you know, I really think it has a lot to do with confidence for him and opportunity and not getting into a rhythm because he doesn't get a lot of minutes per se. So it makes it tough. But like I said, the other thing is one goes back to that first step. Him being a point guard type, off guard type, whatever, not being able to really break down the defense and get to the lane, get himself some easy layups or draw the attention of the defense so he can pass the ball to get those open shots for people. Because remember when we first started giving McBride some minutes and we were like, wow, look at him getting assists, and look, he's not turning the ball over. His assist to turnover ratio was good. Have you noticed that he doesn't get a lot of assists anymore? Because the rest of the NBA is figuring out what he likes to do, how he likes to move on the court. They know he's hesitant when it comes to his offensive game. They know how to pressure him. So that same type of stuff that we were seeing before, they're locking it down. Just something to think about. Smoking Nick is back.
Yeah, man. A little technical difficulties, but I'm back.
What's happening, Captain? So what we were just talking about Norman Powell. You didn't get a chance to weigh in on him. What do you think about Norman Powell?
I like Norman Powell. I've liked him when he was in Toronto. I think he a little streaky and not as aggressive as he should play all the time, but he definitely got a lot of talent and a lot of skill. Probably not one of the best defenders in the league, but he definitely could add some offense, another ball handler, person that can knock down the 3, very athletic, you know.
Would you trade for him?
What player are we considering trade for him? Because I would, yeah. What player would we trade for?
Would you give up it might take a player and a pick or 2 players, you know, just looking at value. It might be like OB and a pick or OB and another player.
OB and a pick, OB and another player. I'll consider it. I would consider it depending on, because, you know, LA got some, we would be getting them from the Clippers. So
I like how you think.
If we could get him in like Kennard. No, Kennard went to Memphis, huh? Or no?
Yeah, Kennard's with Memphis.
Oh, LA. Yeah. No, they got. If we could manage to slip Kennard off them too, you know, then I'd consider it for sure. Anything's possible.
Yeah, Kennard's gone.
He's not in LA no more.
No. You're right. You said it right. He's in Memphis.
Oh, okay. I thought, because I couldn't remember where I seen him last.
Yeah, he had a good season for Memphis too. I was looking at I was gonna put him on the list today. Then I was like, no. He played too good for them. He had some good numbers over there.
Yeah, him and their point guard Tyus Jones, they're not giving him up. Yeah.
I
was surprised they gave up Anthony Melton, because Melton was a baller for them. He went to Philly hooping.
Yeah, true. So you know, that's just another guy that you know is a possibility, and he gives you you know, it's somebody that actually the Knicks looked at in free agency, but they didn't have enough money to really, you know, fit the market for him. So I don't know if they were going to be able to get him at that time anyway, but they looked at him. But there is somebody else who is a lot more affordable out there. I've always liked his game. Now we're moving in a different direction here, guys. This is not the same, but he's somebody that he's undersized, but he plays bigger than his size would dictate. And you know, I think that who would I let go? That's the question. I'm thinking about who would we let go in order to get this guy. But all right. That's Naz Reid.
That's
Naz.
No.
Nah.
Listen, don't knock it. You say you like dogs, and he plays tough. He plays tough. And in 18 minutes per game, he's 6'9", 264 pounds. He's not a center body, really. He's a power forward, but 6'9", 264. You see that picture? Look at that's tough. Anyway.
He looked like he yawning for real.
So he in 18 minutes, he 11.5 points per game, 4.9 rebounds, 1.1 assists, 0.6 steals, 0.8 blocks, 53% from the field, 34.5 from three, 67.7 from the free throw line. Now, mind you, when you're talking about adding a Naz Reid, he's the type of guy you can put on the team and just replace Jericho Sims. You don't gotta worry about getting rid of Mitch or Hartenstein. You don't have to do that. Naz Reid could just plug it and be your third option. Naz Reid could be your backup if you decide to move on from Obi to help back up Julius Randle, and he can actually score a little bit and can give you the exact same things that Obi's giving you, but with a little better defense. What do you think, Smoking Nick? Let's get a little bit more detail on your thought process with regards to Naz Reid. Oh, if he's there.
No,
he may not be there. Oh, okay.
Oh, close the door, baby. Naz Reid, I thought he was a good player in college. I like his build and stuff, but against, how long have he been in the NBA now? What, 3 years?
It's been 4 years? 4 years.
See, 4 years. So, yeah, he's not really living up to the potential that I thought he had. You know what I mean? I thought his ceiling was higher, but I don't know. I really haven't studied him since he's been in the league. I just thought he should be better.
Right. All right. And let me see, where is it? Where did I lose it? Shoot. Man, I lost it. Somebody just said it. Oh, best of worst. Shout out to you. Appreciate you, brother. He said bad, doesn't play defense. You see how Tibbs treats Obi. Yeah, he's not the greatest defender, but he's a better defender one-on-one than Obi is, in my opinion. No, that's not saying much. But I just my whole is I mean, he's averaging like 5 a game.
If you rebound, like if it's a critical spot, good moment, like type of rebound, stuff like that, like that's good rebounding.
To me, I think it goes back to what your team needs and how your team plays. The Knicks are a good rebounding team, right? And so when Obi rebounds for them, which we don't expect Obi to do a lot of rebounding, it's gravy. And I think that's how you look at Naz Reid. But the other side of it is when Obi's out there, Obi's a perimeter scorer for the Knicks. And if he's not knocking down the perimeter, he's giving you nothing, right? If he's not in transition, he's giving you nothing. Naz Reid can get a bucket in the paint. You give him the ball, he can turn around, do a hook shot, give you a layup, he can dunk on you, like, whatever, like big man moves.
Right.
He may not be a guy who could really stretch the floor, but he will knock down an open three occasionally. But the point is that he can live in the paint and actually use his body and turn around, post up people, and get some points that way. So you may not lose a possession.
And he can shoot the three too.
Yeah, no, he can. So I'm saying, like, you can't, I just know, like, if you're trying to move the team in a different direction and give the team a little different look so they can play differently, it's something to consider. It's like a minor move because remember, and this is why I like to tell people, don't forget, the Knicks are not keeping Obi long term. They're not paying Obi. You're not having all these guys on the contract. Then you got to worry about paying IQ. Now you got to worry about Grimes the year after with Obi. They're not going to pay Obi. Not when Julius still here. So I think Obi's getting out of here regardless. So if you're going to lose him, and you can't go out there and get a bigger piece.
Not difficult enough, and you know what I mean? Is he too flat-footed? Like when he's not on the open break, his lateral quickness is not the best. So yeah, might give him a shot at starting, realize that he's not a starter, and then put himself back on the bench. And that might not just happen on the Knicks. People just swear to God, if he get more minutes, he's just going to become this way more incredible player. And that's not a fact either, man. If he ain't showing what he's doing in the limited minutes that you get, what you think is going to get better just because he's getting the minutes?
Very true. And shout out to Paris Duggan. And like with regards to Obi, as much as I'm saying all these things that Obi can't do or is not doing, I'm only talking about him being here as a Knick. I've already said this in the past too. If Obi leaves here and goes somewhere else where he can get more playing time and more minutes, Obi can be an effective piece for a team. It's just I don't see it being here with the New York Knicks. The same thing that I feel like with I feel the same thing with RJ. Clippers. I like that. I feel the same thing with RJ. I think you put RJ in another team, like put RJ on Brooklyn. Watch RJ run wild over there. It's a thought. I don't know if I could, if I would want to see it as a Knicks fan. I don't know if I would want to see him in a Brooklyn game.
Nah. I ain't gonna lie. All you're gonna see is more bricks and more cities getting built and high block patios, man.
Yeah, but I agree. You're going to see some clinkers, some stinkers, whatever out there. But RJ, you give RJ those type, because one thing about RJ with volume, he puts up numbers. Is he efficient? Maybe not so much, but if you keep making him the man, you never know. He might surprise you where you're like, oh wow, RJ's putting up some solid numbers, and he's gotten a little better at shooting because he's one of the people you have to depend on now. He's a number 2.
Who? What?
If you put RJ on the Nets, not on the Knicks, on the Nets.
Yeah, so RJ and Mikal Bridges. I get what you're saying.
Yeah. RJ with Mikal Bridges. Yeah.
And he's the 2 over Cam Johnson. And say we get Cam Johnson. Which that wouldn't be a super bad deal, even though Cam Johnson would get a bigger role. You know what I mean? And have to get adjusted to that role. But RJ's more used to that role, even though he ain't thriving yet, but he has more experience, so eventually he will thrive. But I don't know, man. I don't know, man. I left RJ alone. I just want to leave RJ alone because, like RJ's game to me is just like it's like the rest of it. It's like almost like Ben Simmons. Why are you not improving? You're not. What do you actually do? Why are you paying these dudes and you're not getting better? Like incrementally, he did get better. Like, you know what I mean? In the playoffs, he was way more efficient. But you know, and I'm not even gonna lie. I'm not even gonna hate. He was driving left and switching hands and going both sides. He definitely was doing that way more than Julius was doing it. So I got to keep it real about that. He was definitely trying and attempting to do different things. The jump shot is just way too finicky, and you know, he disappears at times. You know, ghost in the shell.
I tell you what, if we can get playoff Barrett, play like that the whole season, the full season, no complaints.
Playoff Barrett is not a thing.
We try to create one, man. Come on, man.
I had to stop that before that manifest and grow like a scab or an itch, and then it grow, and then I got to deal with people that's talking that nonsense. Please don't start.
Listen, if we get back there next year and he's still here and he does it again, it might turn into something.
Because people do be doing that. Look at RJ in the playoffs. You know he went 1 for 10 with 2 assists in the last game, right?
Yeah. Hey, but he did.
You got to forget about that. But that was the last. That was the game that we needed to win the most, so we could continue the season, and that's what he did. Oh, but we can't worry about that.
That's what they all did. That's what they all did, except for Brunson.
Yeah, I mean, he did score our first 8 points.
Oh goodness, here we go. See.
Just saying, he did. You know,
that's funny.
He contribute.
I'm just saying, you know what I mean.
Everybody contributed to that loss, even though everybody.
Yeah, it was a tough. I'm not gonna blame RJ though for us losing that series.
I didn't either. I just brought up.
No, I'm just putting that out. Not for you. I'm just putting that out there for other people. Like, you know, he helped us. We needed more. I want more.
Yeah, if he can
We need him more.
have that mentality during the season.
Before IQ got hurt, he was hot garbage. Obi was trying, but and then I don't know where Mitch disappeared to. He was playing like he was hurt in that second. I don't know where he did. He wasn't getting rebounds. He wasn't. I'm like, bro, you was commanding a double
he was hurt
first season just from your rebounding. Where that go at? What happened?
Yeah,
he was moving super lethargic. I didn't know what was going on with him. So, you know, hopefully a report says he had a bad hip or something.
Mitch was hurt, though.
I'm not saying that. I'm just saying.
Yeah. I mean,
I need an explanation like anybody else need an explanation.
I agree, like, because you know it was a bad team effort. You know what I mean? Which goes back to not to bring it up again, but even with the Knicks, with them not winning back in the day with against Houston. You know, the team just didn't do what they needed to do to get the game over. We were up. We had a chance to close it out. So going back to this, you know, we were in a good position to change the course of the series against Miami, and we let them get back into it and, you know, take over and put us in a bad position. Then we had to fight for it. Now we're behind, and you know what I mean? Like, we were in a position to do something and we messed it up. So now we're playing from behind, and it was just a little too much for us. But you know, we weren't ready, and it's a shame. But kudos to Miami once again, guys, because we see how good Miami has played in these playoffs. Even if they may finally have met their match, they played well.
And we lost the champions, whether they're NBA champions, the Eastern Conference champions. So we ain't got nothing to hold our head down for.
Facts. That's a fact. I mean,
Boston put up a fight, but we put up way more of a fight. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You don't feel bitter.
All we had to do was win that game one without Julius, and it would have won a 7 with them too. I'm like, all I'm saying, man.
I hear you.
I feel you.
But, you know,
shout out to J Deals Direct. Appreciate you. Salute, my brother. Yeah, he will get better, more minutes. Check his stats with plays 29 minutes or more. Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. All right, cool. Shout out to just had it. Keith Turner in the building. Salute, Keith. I lost your original thing, but you know, shout out to you, my brother. Hope you're doing well. Always good to see you. Best of Worst says, I don't dislike Naz. I just think, who would he replace in the rotation? We sign him, he would just take Sims minutes. That's fine, because at least maybe we could get something out of him. Maybe Thibodeau respects him. Thibodeau don't respect Sims, guys. I'm sorry. I hate to be the guy that Sims is going to be up out of here. He don't like Sims. Something's up there.
What makes you think he don't like Sims? Sims got injured, and
no, Sims got injured. Sims has been injured all season, because when he's on the bench and not getting minutes, I guess he was injured too. He was dressed to go. Yeah, no. Something is.
You don't play your first year. That doesn't mean you're liked, man. You just ain't.
Yeah, this ain't first year Sims though. This ain't first year Sims. You know, I think Thibodeau doesn't like how Sims reads the plays and what's going on out there in the court. The game will dictate blah blah blah. You know his slogan, and Sims sees it slow, I think, and Tibbs doesn't like that, and that's why he don't give Sims the minutes that you know he should get.
You know Tibbs is impatient, so
he definitely is.
I kind of see Naz actually playing, or filling that spot, because Mitch is not always guaranteed, because you know he's hurt a lot. So he brings more than what Sims did. So I guess I can see that now.
I mean, that makes sense. I just think that I like Reid has a little strength in his game. You know, he's not somebody you could push around down low, unless you're Julius Randle. That's different. But like a regular guy is not going to push him around. And we need a little bit more toughness. We need bigs with a little bit more toughness. Hartenstein showed some level of toughness at points, but he gets pushed around by the bigs. So you know,
he does. Yeah, he does.
You need some dark skin energy.
But he's still showing a lot of heart.
We need some.
But that's what I like about him, because he showed a lot of heart.
Yeah, exactly. We need something just to help with the overall team. We got to upgrade at certain positions of stuff we've been missing. Maybe we've had guys who could do certain things.
We gotta go. We just gotta tell Naz, you ain't gotta run the floor, bro. You just come down, you thumping, but leak out for threes. You feel me? Because you got a little J. You know, if you miss it, whatever. But you gotta hold it down. You gotta get these rebounds. You gotta bump these dudes and get them tired.
Yeah, I hear you. I hear you. Best of worst. But let me say something else too. Going back to, because Thibodeau said that Sims is still trying to figure out where he needs to be out there on the court. And after all this time and the practices and the stuff, Tibbs wants you to kind of get it, and he's been a little slow to get it. This is the thing that I have a problem with. The Knicks draft guys because of certain things, but sometimes it doesn't always make sense. Sims is an incredibly athletic person. We saw that, but the guy can't shoot. Okay, he's learned how to rebound pretty well. He's a decent rebounder. He don't block shots. The dude is 6'9", can jump out the gym, and he can't block shots. I don't get that. Like, that's crazy to me. So, like, when you look at stuff like that, and when I say he can't block shots, guys, yes, he's blocked a shot before, but he's not a guy who blocks shots. Look at his numbers. So you got that. He can't score, can't shoot. He can't shoot free throws. He can't score around. He can do a putback dunk, but you give him the ball, he can't even do a hook shot. The Knicks just need to get guys who can be a little bit more well-rounded. We need a little well-rounded action.
And teach them how to play basketball. God, which they should have knew how to play before they even got to the league. I would suspect, right?
Yeah. And I agree with you too, Felicia. Salute to you. Thank you for being here. No, and when I'm talking about Naz Reid, I'm not talking about Naz Reid playing over Mitch or playing over Hartenstein. Now, there might be some games where we have some matchups where Naz Reid makes a little bit more sense.
I thought we established that he was going to play power forward.
Yeah, no. Well, it all depends on what we got going on here. Because you can, like I said before, you can get Naz Reid and run the whole same team back. You could still get Naz Reid. We could still have Obi here. You never know. But if Obi was gone, Naz could be the backup power forward because he can score a little bit. He can give you a little bit of defense similar to Obi. And you don't really miss a beat, but he gives you a different style of play, so it might help the team a little better with what they're trying to do. He won't get pushed around on the block the way Obi's going to get pushed around.
You tickling some feathers with them Obi commentaries, man. I'm saying.
Yeah, I'm just saying, All right, so let's get to the next guy. We got a couple more, and then we out of here. Toronto got a lot of pieces over there. Gary Trent Jr. And once again, he is 6'5". He's not the 3-and-D guy that we want, the 6'7", 6'8" guy to play the small forward position. However, we said we wanted to improve on the shooting and scoring. Gary Trent Jr., 17.4 points per game, 2.6 rebounds, 1.6 assists, 1.6 steals, which I thought was kind of surprising. He's a good defender. He's not horrible. 0.2 blocks, but he shoots 43.3% from the field, 36.9% from three, 83.9% from the free throw line. Right now, he would easily be the second best shooter on the team. And I'm not talking about Fournier. Forget Fournier. Behind Jalen Brunson. So what do you think about Gary Trent Jr.? Smoking Nick?
I like Gary Trent Jr. He's been on the Knicks radar for a couple of years now. We've been talking about him for a while, probably like 3 years to my knowledge. As I look at the numbers, this is my numbers assessment. I think his three should be a little higher. I like his free throw percentage and his points per game, 17.4. That's doable. Is now the questions that I want to ask is like, what position is he going to be? Like a starter or a bench player, 6-man?
I would, if I putting him on the team, he's replacing RJ as the starter.
So he's going to be the starting
small forward.
Small forward.
Yeah.
He shoots better than RJ. He probably defends a little better, and he shoots free throws better. I can see where, even though he doesn't score as many points, so he's streaky. And he's probably doing it at a low volume. So
450 attempts.
So yeah, low volume, right?
No, that's actually that's like I'll put it to you like this: Damian Lillard shot 658, right?
What, threes or field goals?
Threes.
Oh, just threes?
Mm-hmm.
Damn.
Field goals 935.
Okay, I can see that. Whew. Damn, we're getting into the numbers. I like Gary Trent, but I wouldn't. Not for RJ. Not at this particular point. I think he took a step back this year, and the buzz on him is not what it used to be. So, like me personally, I would get him on the team if we could keep the certain play. Like Brunson, Randle, RJ off limits in my mind, right? And then you just got to build around them. That's how I feel. Every other,
okay.
You can get these. You can get Gary Trent, but you got to get him with. You know what I mean? So we can improve on what we already have going on. You know what I mean?
Okay. What's your thoughts?
I feel like if RJ's not on the table, then you can forget it. Because you know they will, like I said before, they want RJ. And offensively, I think he's a little better than RJ. My question is defensively, is he better than RJ? Because that's one of RJ's issues because he's slow. Definitely on defense. So that would be my question. I would like to have him. I mean, I know he kind of dipped a little bit last season, but I will still think. I know he's still a good player.
Okay. All right. I wonder what the chat is thinking about Gary Trent Jr. And keep in mind, guys, you said you want to improve shooting.
That's true.
And he's a better 3-point shooter than RJ.
I'm not saying that we shouldn't. Like, we could get Gary Trent Jr. because I think RJ's value is higher than Gary Trent Jr. So that's not an even trade. You know what I mean? So when you say, like, we could get Gary Trent Jr., but RJ's projected and still projected to be a better player than him. So that's what I mean when I say that. Like, yeah, we should get Gary Trent Jr. to either play behind or alongside. You know what I mean? Ain't nothing wrong with that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, if you can pull it off, I like it. I don't know if they can, but I like it.
I think we should be cultivating our players instead of trying to just dismiss and get rid of. Right? That's what the good teams do. The Spurs had Manu, Tim, and Tony Parker for years and years and years, whether they won or we lost. It wasn't talking about getting rid of their players every time they. It's a learning process and it's a stepping stone. And I know we have to have the conversation, but
that's why I was
makes
saying
sense.
That,
we supposed
what were you saying, Kareem?
Cultivate our
so that's what I was saying about the GM in Toronto. You know how he is. You know he's gonna want RJ. He's like the watered down version of the Utah Jazz GM. So he's gonna try to get everything he can out of us.
Very true. Very true. Yeah, and I think it starts with RJ. To be honest, I think Toronto, knowing that he's a homegrown, I think they want RJ.
We can't get Gary Trent for Fournier and a couple picks.
I think
we could.
Let me see one thing here with where's Gary Trent's.
If Leon Rose can finesse that, yeah, I'm with it.
Let's see, Gary Trent.
Don't make me go put on 2K right now and see if it work in the trade.
Somehow I figure you make it happen on 2K.
It's a joke. 2K ain't real life. I know that.
Well, so it's a possibility. You got. I don't know. It's all about what
we got to stop. I think as Knicks fans, we got to stop underselling our players because our players.
No. It's not that, Smoking Nick. It's not that. It's that Gary Trent is a free agent, right?
Oh,
he's a player option, right? So he can opt in, right? And you got to do a sign and trade to bring him over. But with a sign and trade, what do we have to give up? We got to match the money, and we got to give Toronto something to incentivize them to even want to do it, because they could just let Gary Trent walk because it's his option. He can leave.
But why would we trade one of our best players for like their fourth or fifth best player?
I wouldn't do it either. I wouldn't I would trade if it's OG Anunoby, then I would know that RG's got to go. But for Gary Trent, I would offer them something else. I'd offer them OB and I don't know, who knows? Might have to be Quickly. How you feel about that? Yeah, exactly.
Quickly. Quickly. I like Quickly because he's streaky too, and he don't make good decisions dribbling. He always running to the corner baseline right side and getting stuck, just like Brunson, where they get trapped and nobody comes to the basketball. So it's a collective thing. I could go on and on, but I think Quickly for. Yeah, I think this is a fair trade, just depending on what the deal consists of, for sure. I would need to know. But I'm high on all our players, but a couple of them could go and make us stronger, for sure.
Margaret is like, forget it. RJ go nowhere for OG. I don't know. So wait, I've never asked this to you, Margaret. Are you comfortable with trading RJ for anybody? Like anybody? There's certain guys I think you feel like maybe aren't worth it, but are you willing to trade RJ for anyone?
Brandon Ingram.
Who?
RJ got to go for Brandon BI. I'm taking that. 25 points. He's a scorer.
I'm not even thinking about it. Let's just go for it.
Scorer. BI got to come and RJ got to go, bro. Straight up.
So, yeah.
I'm 1,000.
My only thing that I have with BI is just once again he don't stay healthy. But as far as his game, the dude is a beast. That's you
match that with a Randle and a Jalen Brunson. Come on, bro. We not 5th seed, we 3rd seed.
Yeah.
We can keep him, but we got one of the best medical staffs. You said that earlier.
Yeah, apparently.
so don't pretend to be listening, my boy. I heard.
I like that.
Now I saved it and then used it on you.
That's good. That's good stuff. That's good stuff. So, okay, Margaret. Well, we can't really have that. The conversation can't really go that far. She's like, no, I believe in RJ. I feel he will be the piece for us winning a championship. So you don't want to trade RJ for nobody. If Boston said, we'll give you Jason Tatum tomorrow, we want RJ Barrett. You're like, no, hanging up the phone.
He gotta go.
Like, come on, Margaret. Let's. I like RJ too. He's my favorite player, but I'm a Knicks fan. I'm willing to move on if it makes us better.
I will personally drive RJ right up to Boston.
I hear you, but I hear Margaret too. She has an allegiance. She loves these young guys, and that's the thing about when any team does this. When any team decides to go young and start developing talent and changing the shift of your organization, people fall in love with the young guys. Like me, I'm a Met fan. The Mets got tons of young talent, and these guys are starting to play. I don't want to trade any of these guys. So I understand. Yeah. I get it. I'm with you.
Yeah.
D Cooler says, yeah, right. D Cooler said if I was a GM, I would get Cam Johnson or Oubre at small forward and move RJ back at shooting guard, DiVincenzo in the place of Fournier on the bench. I'm not opposed to anything that you just said here. Oubre gives us scoring, Cam Johnson gives us shooting, DiVincenzo also can give us shooting. That's not a bad look, and these guys will help space the floor. So I'm not opposed to this, D Coolers. I just want to say one thing. Oubre is not the best 3-point shooter. He had a great season. He scored 20 points per game this year, but 3-point shooting is not really the best at. But if you're bringing in Cam Johnson and DiVincenzo, this is actually pretty good. This Knick team would be interesting. It's not bad.
I like him.
No, I like
I don't know how much you give up to get these guys, because you have to move some people around. But if you can make it work and keep the core,
we got $300 million contracts. People beg for RJ to get that 100 milli. Got that 100 milli. Feel me? So, I'm just keeping it real. I say beg for it, then you get what you beg for, right? So it is what it is. RJ got to stay now, and we got to make our bed because we lay in it. You feel what I'm saying? So now we need to build a team. DiVincenzo is very gettable. You feel what I'm saying? I think Oubre is very gettable. You feel me? And if we got to move a Obi, and we got to move it quickly because we need more seasoned veterans around our certain players, that's just what you got to do, bro. You can't take it personal, bro. Unless they go to these teams and they become superstar. If they ain't doing it here, man, the odds, it's not as high as people project it to be, man. I'm just telling you. It would have been happening already if it was going to happen.
I could see that. I mean, because like I love RJ, but if Sam Presti calls Leon Rose tomorrow and says we'll give you SGA
or Josh Giddey, I'm taking Giddey too.
Yeah,
I want Giddey too. I'm taking Giddey too.
I'm listening. I'm listening.
I'll take.
I'm listening. So all right, so we got two more and then we out of here. So next one up is now this guy. Let me see. I'm just gonna do it right now and check and see what his contract looking like before it comes up. Because I think he's a free agent. No, he's not. Sorry. Okay, so he's still under contract. The club picked up his option, and he's got another club option next year. Weird. Back-to-back club options. He becomes a restricted free agent in 2025. But you can trade for him if you want him. And so that is Franz Wagner.
Is that the
Franz? This is the scoring brother. This is the good one.
Oh yeah, no.
I shouldn't say that. That's not my bad, Mo. You are right, Mo. My bad, but your brother's better. Franz is 6'10", 220 pounds. He's not your typical 6'10" guy. So he's gonna do he doesn't do some stuff that you'd like him to do. But to be able to shoot the way he shoots, being 6'10" is an asset. It is no one can stop, no one's blocking his shot. So that's a good thing. But he's 18.6 points per game, 4.1 rebounds, which I think is crazy for a 6'10" dude, but you can live with certain things because the Knicks are a good rebounding team. As long as you don't trade the people that rebound, you can work with this. He's 3.5 assists, 1 steal per game, 0.2 blocks. Once again, not happy about a 6'10" guy who can't block a shot.
0.9 blocks.
Yeah. 48.5% from the field, 36% from three, 84% from the free throw line. He is a weapon because, the guy can score points. He can score. So it's all about like if you value scoring and offense, and can you see how he can help stretch the floor? Because he's another dude you can use in a pick and pop with Jalen Brunson. Like you can use him in different ways, and he really could help space the floor. He'll definitely, whoever's guarding him, because a big guy has to guard him in order to kind of help defend his shot because he's so tall. That brings the guy out the paint. That leaves the paint open for everybody. RJ can get busy in there. Brunson can get busy. Like it leaves the paint open. So it's somebody to consider. What do you think about Franz Wagner, Smoking Nick?
To be honest, I like the numbers. Just looking at it, his points per game and his free throw and his field goal percentage is exactly what I want to see. His 3-point is just above average, but he could definitely his rebound. I don't like his rebound. His assist for a big dude, 6'10". Yeah, I like that. 3.5. You feel what I'm saying? You know what I mean? He got the potential to push that to at least 5. Yeah. But the rebounding, that shows me you're not as physical as you should be, or or they project him on the outside only. You know what I mean? So he ain't even getting the opportunities to grab the rebounds that he should be grabbing because he always on the outside. Either the team is keeping him on the out because they got their player shooting, or he's not in position because he's on the top trying to make plays or something like that on offense. So, but Franz Wagner, I've watched him play a little bit. I've studied his game. If they're trying to give him up, yeah, I'll consider it. You feel me? Hell yeah.
Okay. What about you, Kareem? What you think?
Offensively, I say that's a boost for us. Defensively, that's why I kind of question it, and that's where I think it may affect Mitch, and definitely with rebounds. You need somebody to kick up the slack other than Mitch. But I guess that's a risk you have to take. Because like I said, we need scoring, and I think he helps a lot, definitely with spacing, and to help with Brunson as well. So I will say yes.
Yeah. Yeah, and yes, we would have to trade for him. He's not a free agent. His brother's a free agent, but his brother I don't know if his brother moves the needle for us. Franz is someone who comes in and can replace Obi right away. Like that's an upgrade over Obi. You can. He's tall, but he's kind of quick, in how he plays. So you can put him at the 3 as a starter if you want. But I think he can also be used as a backup for Julius. You don't have to trade Julius to get him. You can trade something else to get him. He's young. Now, why would Orlando give him up? Because Orlando's trying to improve, and Orlando's got the rookie of the year, who's he's not a center, he's a power forward. So they play similar positions. Orlando's going to have some more draft picks this year. Who knows who they're going to draft? More young players. You got to get some other type of players that have been in the league too that can help you go forward. And it allows them to pick a player. Like maybe they like Obi. Maybe they could use Obi. Obi helps, their run and gun stuff. Because that team is young. They like to move. They've got some talent over there. You never know the direction they want to go. It's just a thought.
They could take 48 back. Or what?
Yeah, we'll give you Fournier back without a problem. Definitely. I don't know if that'll happen, but I'd do it. True. It's a shot in the dark. Franz and Banchero are the future. But if the Knicks say, we'll give you this person, I don't know, maybe IQ and Obi. You guys might be like, wow, for Franz Wagner, that's a lot. It allows the Knicks to give up 2 players that they're going to wind up having to pay, and they don't know if they're going to be able to pay them. So I take Franz Wagner, and if I have to pay him or whatever, or if he's already on the contract, that's 1 player rather than the 2 players I got to worry about. So just a thought. I'm just, like I said, this is all mythical, guys. None of this is facts. We know nothing.
Yeah.
So just
don't take it to heart. Don't take it to heart.
Yeah, this is just different scenarios, and I know some of this stuff is recycled. Like other shows may talk about the same guys. I'm throwing guys out there that maybe another show doesn't talk about. Maybe they're not thinking about Franz. Maybe they're saying, "Oh, we could bring up Mo." Like I'm thinking about Franz. I like Franz. He got a game that I think would help these Knicks. And if you can't get a cat, not that I want cat, but if you can't get a cat, you can't get a Porzingis. Lower level guys, are guys like Franz Wagner and Bojan Bogdanovic, guys that are tall that can shoot so that the defense can't really stop them. They see over everybody and they can still get their shot off. I think that's an interesting weapon.
Is we doing Porzingis for Mitch, or are we doing Porzingis for Hartenstein and keeping?
No, Porzingis comes, Mitch is gone. Yeah, Mitch is gone.
We can't have 2 good big men, huh?
Nah. They ain't paying. They ain't gonna pay.
The way it works.
They ain't gonna pay Porzingis around 30 million and pay Mitch 15. Yeah, that's 45 million between your centers. I don't see it. But you know, that's shout out to them. You know, whoever can do that. You know, Minnesota, if they want to pay big centers all that type of money, you know, shout out to them.
Cat ain't a center. He don't rebound good enough.
Yeah. Well, no, but you know, Cat, even though Cat averages around 10 rebounds a game.
Dude, but he's not a pit bull though.
Yeah, that's the thing. Cat ain't that arf. His bark is like really silent.
Yeah, he's Chihuahua.
He arf. That's it. That's his bark. Man, this is not right. I'm sorry, Cat. When I see you in person, don't hold it against me. One day I'm gonna run into Cat. I'm sure of it. He's gonna be like, I remember you. So let me see if there's anything. I don't want to miss anything from the chat. Franz has 3 years left on his contract. That is not happening. I know. Listen, like I said, it's a shot in the dark. I don't think it's gonna actually happen. And why do I still have this up? Let me get this down. Yeah, I'm wilding. Sorry, guys. I apologize. I'm doing too much stuff in the background here. You guys have no clue. So I apologize for that. But I think that, you know, it's interesting just because, you know, anything can happen. Listen, don't tell me you guys have never seen a trade before that you didn't think was going to happen, that you didn't even know this guy was on the radar and he got moved. It happens. Yeah. Tyrese Halliburton. Why would Sacramento trade him? Didn't see that coming, but it happened. So you never know. Yeah. Just keep it in mind. Back to this. All right. Don't want Diva KP, but would love to have Franz Wagner at starting small forward. But hey, Billy Goat, KP's been humbled. He's a young guy. He's went through the rigors of the NBA. He wanted to get his perfect match. He said, I'm going to Dallas to play with my homie. Went to Dallas. Ooh, it wasn't what homie thought. My brother said, I'm the best thing since sliced bread. My brother messed me up. I thought he was going to have me right. You know, KP's learned the hard way, man. Then he gets moved to Washington. Oh, I don't know how I feel. Washington is close to New York, but it ain't New York. I don't know, man. I'm just saying, like he's catching it real time. Like he's that's why he's apologetic. He's like, oh yeah, it ain't what I thought. I thought I was the dude, and you know, I'm just like everybody else.
Yeah, that's why I had to do that apology tour.
Bro, he's out here. He's definitely out here saying what he got to say to let y'all know. Hey, man, I love y'all. Don't ever remember me, KP, baby. Yeah, man. It's funny, bro. It's funny. I really couldn't stand KP when we moved him, and then I found out how his agent brother was acting, and then I found out about his extracurricular activities, but I'm not bringing up again. I was like, oh nah, KP, you gotta go. You for the streets. We ain't messing with you.
KP was for the streets, though. He was for the streets.
Yo, let me tell you, man. KP lucky that the Knicks, you know, whatever. I remember when Alan Hahn was on the show, he was like, yeah. Knicks took care of KP because he could have definitely been in the news. Yeah. Okay. Well, so that's that.
He was hinting to that BS, huh?
Well, he was doing something, you know. He lucky that the movement didn't come get him, because they could have canceled him. They could have got him up out of here. Anyway, Andy N says, tell Smoking Nick his laugh is like the $1 Million Man's Ted DiBiase. Yeah, that's right. The Margaret Edwards, the grass is not always greener. Facts. Lion of Judah, what's good? Shalom, my brother. If KP had just, you know, stayed in his lane, did what he had to do, and maybe consulted somebody else behind your brother's back. Yeah, you know, listen, this is what the Knicks are telling me. My brother believes I should do this. Do you think this is the right move? Is my brother on point, or you know, should I be looking at this differently? See, KP needed to be smarter. and deal with his situation. But now he listened to his
you're not
brother.
the one playing basketball. This ain't your career. You just have an opinion. So stay
He was
where
young.
the opinions stay in your brain. Keep them.
Well, I mean, not, but that's the problem. It wasn't just an opinion. KP made his brother his agent.
Yeah. Oh, I say he was young. He made a mistake.
Right. He made a bad choice right there because he could have been a legend. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, KP would have been like, forget about it. You know, he would have definitely rode that whole wave for as long as he was here. And it's not like he's a bad player. He wouldn't have been a bum for us.
No, I don't think so at all. The vibe in the garden. But who's the last dude? I'm curious.
This last dude is someone that I think that there's a lot of I see a lot of Knick fans talking about him. They've talked about him in the past. He's kind of interesting because he's kind of a tier 2 name. So, you know, you might like him. You might like him. Hold on, let me see. It's loading up. You know, this StreamYard be slow sometimes. If y'all rock with StreamYard, y'all know.
StreamYard be tripping sometimes for sure.
Yeah. I don't know why it does that, but you know, gotta make it happen for what it is. But yeah, technology, right. But anyway, how's the weather in your parts today? You know, Smoking Nick.
Oh, it's nice outside, man. I took a walk earlier. It's probably like 67, 75 right now. Little like a mixture.
That's not too bad. I think
nice little breeze, but the sun is shining.
I know where Kareem is, so his weather is basically my weather. It's like 65 degrees today. Yesterday was 86, and it went to 65 today. So I don't know, man. This weather's tripping.
Yeah, that's why I jumped on cutting the grass early while it was still nice out.
Smart. All right, come on, StreamYard.
It's 77 right now.
Wow, 77. Wow.
Oh, okay. Shout out to Joel. Appreciate you. Good to see you. Nick isn't paying KP $35 million a year. KP wants his money. He's not coming. He's negotiations, playing games with the Wizards like he did with the Knicks. That may be very true too. He's on the apology tour because he's trying to up his value and see if he can get the most money, however he can do it. I see what you're saying, Joel. That's a good point. Very good point.
You better take that discount.
Yeah. Facts. You might have to.
You have to work for that money.
International Andy with the international scoop. He says with the brother, he wanted a position on the Knicks. That's why all this broke up. Interesting.
Oh, you trying to use your brother's status so you could get a job, man? You go get some talent.
Yes, that's a dirty move, B. That's a dirty move.
We know nepotism run rampant, but go get some talent, man.
Wow. I mean, listen, that'll definitely mess you up if you try to overplay your hand and how much value. Oh, they came in, you know, might have thought, hey, man, KP is the face of the Knicks. Without KP, you know what I mean? So I could do what I want. I could leverage that. That's where he overplayed his hand.
Like, first of all, you 7'2", 7'3", you're big, and you just hurt your knee. Knicks is like, nope. And they made the good decision.
Agreed. So this guy is 6'8", 230 pounds. And come on, StreamYard. Oh my God. Jesus.
I'm sitting on the edge of my seat trying to figure out who it is.
I mean, he's a player worth talking about, and he's worth waiting for. But realistically, I don't know if it's going to happen or not. And he's, like I said, he's a little iffy for people. They still question him, but they like him. But I don't know. We'll see. All right, come on, StreamYard. Oh, good. Okay, finally. Jeez. All right. Pascal Siakam.
Oh, okay.
24.6 points per game, 7.8 rebounds, 5.8 assists, 0.9 steals, 0.2 blocks, 48% from the field, 32.4% from three, 77.4% from the free throw line. He's not the best shooter. He's a talented scorer, but he's also a decent rebounder. He gives you about 8 a game, and sometimes he has bigger games, obviously. And he's a good facilitator. I mean, almost 6 assists a game, so that helps. So you could see how it could benefit the team. He's not a terrible defender. I like him. I like his aggression. I like how he moves. We've seen he did some wild stuff to the Knicks and he lit us up for 50, which was crazy.
Knick killer.
Yeah, he's definitely a Knick killer. So what you guys think, Smoking Nick? What do you think about Pascal Siakam?
Well, first off, he's a 2-time All-Star. Secondly, a champion. So he brings some championship DNA. Even though they had Kawhi and stuff, but he definitely contributed to that championship. He was definitely busting some tail. I think Pascal Siakam would definitely upgrade. But when I think, well, for a player like that, we got to give up something big. You feel what I'm saying? Because, he's, 25 points. His free throw percentage is kind of average, but I like Pascal. I like him. He's wiry. He can finish around the rim. He can shoot the three a little bit. And he plays defense. So, yeah, he would definitely be a major upgrade. I don't think he's on that lower tier, though. I think he's a little like on that second tier of players in the NBA. Yeah, I don't think he's on like the third tier of players because 25 points ain't easy to score in the league, man, no matter because, especially consistently. You know what I mean? So
right. Facts. Yeah.
And
I
he's
hear you.
contributed to winning a championship. So that in negotiations, they're gonna bring those type of things up. So I think he's on the second tier of players. So man, it's possible, but now I think like who we giving up for him? Like,
That's when it gets a little tricky. Kareem, you got it. What's going on, bro? What you thinking?
You can take Randle. You can take IQ. How many picks you want? You got as many picks you want. There you go. I'll take him. He's an upgrade for Randle.
And notice the interesting thing in the chat. Notice how no one's saying they're not trading Siakam because you don't know what Toronto's doing. We don't know what they got going on over there now. So anybody could be out of there. We don't know.
Yeah, we don't know.
Certain people. Or they might blow the whole thing up. Yeah, it's true. Not quite sure. I don't know.
I think
let me see.
has a better game than Randle, a better scorer than Randle, but I don't think he's a better player.
Yeah, I think they're very similar, even though their styles are different. But I think they're very similar. Like you could see them both being like players you look at like, okay, I don't miss anything with Pascal. Maybe rebounding. Julius gives you better rebounding, a little bit more physicality. But then again, Pascal is very physical. He gets to the line, he gets to the free throw, he knocks his free throws down. He sometimes goes on tears when he's good from the outside.
Defense. He don't give up on defense.
A little bit more defense. But I could see it like from both sides. Like, it's just to me, this is like, when I say I don't want to just trade Randle for anybody. This is a trade that's kind of like a wash in a way, but it's okay. Yeah, like this is like I just want to do something different. I want to have somebody that gives me similar numbers to Randle, but I want to move in a different direction. This is one of those. And I could say, okay, all right, well, maybe this works. I don't know. Knicks 100 is in the building. No, see what? Yeah, well, I don't know who else is saying that, but I didn't say that, Sherwin. I said Siakam is like a wash. It's like different type of player. He gives you something different that Randle doesn't, but Randle has something that Siakam doesn't. But it's just like if you want to move in a different direction, he's a different personality. So, Randle bullies Siakam. Yeah, he does. Although when Siakam was here and lit us up for 51, we know who bullied who that day.
Yeah, he definitely got off that night.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah. So we'll see what happens with regards to that. And shout out to Andy, gave us a little bit more context. Yeah, international Andy with the scoop. He says the story was because Melo had his people on the Knicks payroll at the time, and Amari's bodyguard was a chief of Knicks security. That's why Janice, which is KP's brother, was thinking he should get a gig too.
Hold on. First of all, Amari Stoudemire was already
who was he?
10-year player that already was busting people like Tim Duckentail in the playoffs. He's established. KP, you ain't do nothing for your brother to be asking for gigs, man. He need to calm down. Gotta know your role.
You're not him. You're not him.
Gotta know your role,
hey, man. Listen, that's the thing. Like, that's what happens when you get that, you get too much of that euphoria, that love. Like, KP came in here and we rolled out the red carpet, and then it went from the kid crying to everybody loving him. Then he started dunking and doing putback dunks and hitting threes, and they were like, oh my God, he's the unicorn. He's gonna be the best player ever. It went to his head a little bit and his brother's head. You know, it is what it is. It's life.
Yeah.
But you can't bite the hand that feeds you, though. You feel what I'm saying? Like, first of all, we doubted you, then we give you praise, and you like, nah, I could be me somewhere else. I'm going with Luka, and then you realize you can't play with Luka because he a ball hog, and then now you like, oh no, I need to go somewhere else, right? And then like, nah, man, you gotta love your situation for what it is at the moment, man. Sometimes like the person said earlier, the grass ain't always greener, my boy.
True, because KP, Carmelo was gonna get up out of here. The Knicks become KP's team.
Correct.
So he had a team for him, and he kind of messed that up. So, but it is what it is. Shout out to Shop Powers. I appreciate you. Also on defense, yeah, I see that. Yeah, Bricks Nation, facts over paperwork, facts. Yeah, man. Knicks 100 said it's funny how no one ever gives thought to Carmelo diva ways contributing to Porzingis' downfall first time around. Well, if you looked at last week's show and you can click on KP, you'll see that I mentioned that Carmelo was also in KP's ear a lot during that time. And I think that at that point, KP didn't know who he was as a player. Now, that's the part of the reason why I'm thinking we can, if the Knicks wanted him back here, I would be okay with it because he's grown up a lot. He realizes certain things, even if he's using it as a ploy. I don't care. You're saying the right things. Know that we will hold you to the fire if it ain't true.
Hold on, Ron. Y'all blaming Carmelo for the way Porzingis was acting?
Part of it, but that's because no, it's not.
Porzingis is own person.
Remember when? Hold on. Before you go, remember when Porzingis came to the Knicks, he was 18 years old, a young kid. You know who his favorite player was? Carmelo Anthony. You imagine being a young guy coming to the Knicks, your favorite player is Carmelo Anthony, you're playing with him, and Carmelo is taking you under his wing and he's telling you stuff. You go and listen to Carmelo. That doesn't mean that Carmelo was telling him some crazy stuff. It just, remember, he's a young kid. You got to understand it's how he processes the information and how it translates. He might be like, yo, Carmelo's saying, I'm good. I could be the man. I could do this. I'm going to be the man. I'm going to show him. You don't know how KP was moving after that, working with Carmelo. He might have just took it the wrong way. And then with his brother, his agent brother in his head, like, oh, look, these guys are getting this. Like, we can eat in New York. Look, they love us. Look what they're giving us. Yeah, look, we go to restaurants. We don't pay. Look, this is, you know what's going on. You was in the, you know what I mean? You know what you got going on.
Everything you just explained, that whole soliloquy you just spit, is still all on Porzingis, Chris Stapps, right? How he interprets things is his fault. How he moves he moves and maneuvers after information and how he processes it is his fault, right? And how he conducts himself after he gets the information is all his fault. So that ain't nobody's fault because he processed the information he was given in the wrong manner.
Yeah, in the end, he's the one with the final decision, and he's the
Correct.
one who understands his
Correct.
life and how it's supposed to be carried out and how he's perceived and what he wants and all that. Yeah, that's all on him. I'm not gonna put that past it. But what I will say is, we love Carmelo Anthony for what we saw and how he played and how good he was. But Carmelo's got a stigma around the league that didn't just come out of nowhere. People look at him as a diva. It's about the money for him. He's a certain player. That's the reason why he got blackballed twice. How many players of his stature gets blackballed twice in the NBA? This guy got blackballed twice. I don't know, Smoking Nick. I'm saying I hear you, and it is up to KP, but I'm just saying the way Carmelo, we don't know what he was saying to him, and let's not forget, throughout all that whole time when Carmelo was here, the Linsanity things, how he didn't respect Jeremy Lin, and because Jeremy Lin was getting spotlight and maybe he didn't deserve it.
I think the media just be creating these narratives, and then these narratives grow legs like a seed, and then they grow into a flower, and then that flower grows into a tree, and then that tree grows branches, and then you know what I mean? Like these Carmelo just didn't address these things, and I think he addressed it not too long ago and said these things wasn't true. He was the one that spoke to D'Antoni and even got Jeremy Lin playing in the first place. But they painted in a narrative like he's a diva because this is what the media do. They need to create narratives about you, even though they're not speaking to you directly, right? And we run with these narratives, and then we just start to believe them over time because nobody said anything about it. But not all false. Everybody has an opinion. Just because people state opinions doesn't make them facts unless they have legible documentation behind it. You know what I mean?
Which you'll never get. You'll never get that.
So we all just speculating about what it is, but we can't just take it as fact. That's all I'm saying.
Nothing is fact. I will tell you it's all hearsay. But what I will tell you, don't forget, in the league at that time, Carmelo Anthony's best friends, who they are, what teams they belong to, and then who he looked up to and respected. Kobe Bryant, his best friends, Chris Paul, LeBron James. If you remember,
the banana boat.
Yeah, if you remember, Kobe Bryant didn't care nothing about no Linsanity. He didn't respect it. Linsanity got busy. He lit the Lakers up for 34 points, I think, against them. I think that's what he scored. But even after the game, what? Who? Like Kobe wasn't hearing none of that, right? He's just one player. He's having a moment. Fine. So he wasn't thinking about that. Then Miami, LeBron and them, they're not worried about no Linsanity. And when Miami played the Knicks, they destroyed Linsanity. Yes, they did. And so remember, Carmelo's like, I like him, I respect him. I'm just not like. You ain't.
He not Carmelo. We supposed to fall into the moment because this dude having
no. I'm just trying to say Melo's, his thought process can sometimes, but he was established. He can feel that way.
So
but if
Kobe,
you talk,
once Kobe begrudged him and then the he did what they did, Melo changed his tune.
All I'm saying is how they said Melo felt in the beginning wasn't how Melo showed us to feel later. When he was a good teammate to Jeremy Lin later when they were playing, and I think they had a good relationship. Is what Jeremy Lin said it. They didn't have any issues. So yeah, but the whole thing with KP, I just think Melo may have tried to groom him to become a star player in the league and what it takes to be a star player. But KP wasn't a star player yet. So it's all about how you kind of processed it, and
And to be honest, outside of New York, it's not the New York market. Everything gets magnified, over magnified, whether it's good or bad. We over glorify. So it's not every Dallas media is not like our media. You know what I mean? Everything's moving fast, and like I said, we magnifying things. So he wasn't going to be the star in the NBA outside of the New York that he would have been in New York. You know what I'm saying? So his star dimmed once he got traded, and then he was hurt, and then he stopped. It didn't work out in Dallas, and then he got traded again, and then he got traded back to the East Coast, Washington. You feel what I'm saying? So that was even worse because you're downgrading now. You were supposed to do it with Luka as soon as you healed up, but it took him like 3 years to get right.
Think about it like Well, whatever. We'll move on from that because, you know, they're different players. And like I said, KP was a lot younger and impressionable, and he kind of just soaked things up. And maybe he didn't see things the way he should have at that time and with his brother in his ear. So, yeah, it's not Melo's fault. Just saying, you know, talking to a guy like Melo who sees the league in a different, you know, glasses, maybe, you know, he needed someone else to talk to him at the same time so he could really understand how to play in this league and how you got to look at things because it's a business as well.
Right.
Yeah, because don't forget, Melo's the type that Houston, rather than telling him we're going to put you on the bench, got him up out of here. And Melo was like, they didn't even come to me and tell me to go play on the bench. They just assumed that I wasn't going to be okay with it. Well, they assumed for some reason.
Yeah.
You know, but whatever. That's neither here nor there. Okay. All right, guys. Well, listen, let me just get around to these gentlemen. I appreciate you guys for jumping on with me. Smoking Nick, it's been a pleasure. Do you have any final words?
Nah, man, salute. You already know the vibes, man. You know what I mean?
Man.
Thank you for having me. Salute to Kareem Grant, Ron, co-founder of Still Knicks Fans. You already know the vibes.
You know how it be. Hey, damn, Steph just came in too. All right, salute, Steph. Good to see you. Dope Soul Sports Talk in the building. Please show her some love. If you guys haven't already, like, comment, and subscribe to her show on YouTube, and also the Queen's you know, court on Nothing But Knicks. So appreciate you, Steph, as always. Kareem, man. First time Kareem showing his face on Still Knick Fans. Appreciate you, brother. Thank you for being here. Any final words you want to say?
Just, you know, peace out to everybody in the chat. Hello to Steph. I'll be on your show soon. We already chatted about that. And shout out to Eru, who got me started in the first place. And I hope this all season will be a good one for us because we need it.
Yeah. Appreciate you, brothers. Like I said, very, very happy to see you and chop it up with you, man. Dope soul, man. There's not just the name of Queen's show. This dude, Kareem Grant, is a dope soul, man. Met him in person a couple times. Really good dude. So thank you for being here and rocking with me.
No problem.
Guys, once again, thank you for tuning in on Twitch and on Facebook to the show. We appreciate the viewership. Thank you for supporting all the shows. And as I always say, tell a friend who tells a friend who tells another friend. Still Knick Fans, we'll be back again, whether it be on Saturdays at 11-ish, maybe 11:15 for Know the Ledge, on Mondays at 9 p.m. for SKF Weekly with your man Ron and John, or on Thursday nights for the NBA Report on Nothing But Knicks at 8 p.m. or 8:30, depending. Appreciate all the love and support. This is going to be a long off season. We still haven't got into the off season, but everybody's talking like, you know, Knicks are ready to make a move tomorrow, you know, but we here. Appreciate all you guys, man. Thank you, Shop Powers. It's been great because you've been here with us rocking, man. Thank you, man.
You already know the vibes, man.
Shout out to Shaw. Shout out to Shaw.
Facts. So we'll see what happens, guys. Smash that like button on your way out. If you haven't, you know, if you're coming in late, please, you know, rewind the show and see what you missed. Probably tomorrow, because YouTube takes forever to upload the actual show. I will put the timestamp so then you guys can just click the timestamp and go right to whatever player we're talking about so you don't have to watch 3 hours. I'll try to make that easy for everybody. But yeah, thank you for everything. Once again, we talked about Scott Perry a little earlier. I also talked about, we did too. We touched on it. Julius Randle and the fact that, you know, he had an ankle surgery, and so he will be good to go for opening day or opening, you know, the first game of the season. Opening day sounds like baseball. I don't want to say that. But, you know, the point is the ankle injury was worse than, you know, was led us to believe, which I kind of already knew it was. But it's nice that it actually came out officially and he actually had surgery. So maybe, you know, some people cut Julius a little slack on his offensive game. The effort is another story, but whatever. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I appreciate everybody once again. Thank you guys for tuning in. Wiz, I appreciate you, my brother. I think I feel like I didn't even say what's up to you, and I saw your name already. Wiz, I thank you, man. Good to see you as always. Yeah, smash that like button, and we'll see what happens, man. We'll catch you on the next one. Y'all have a great rest of your Saturday. Do something fun. I mean, I don't got nothing to do. I'm a clean.
Same here. Same here.
All right, I third that notion.
There you go. All right, y'all. I'm going to holler at y'all.
All right, have a good one.